side. So yeah, we are going into it. So welcome here once again to Fragmite Masters Season 3. It's a best-of-3 game here to decide who's going to be going to the lower bracket or who will be facing one of two teams tomorrow in the consolidation match, either Hellraisers or Fnatic. So here it comes. Yes, Epsilon indeed will be starting on the terrorist side, and they are already setting up for a bit of a smoke play towards the bomb site, but actually Delito's going to be pushing quite aggressively, and he spots a lot of people, so great information gained here from the CT side. They should know, and in fact, look at the setup. They definitely know. They have almost 4 people at this A bomb site, and they're going to keep them here.
Yeah, exactly. It seems like they have an idea of what Epsilon we're going to go for here. But the nades haven't been used yet by Epsilon. They're still floating back there with those, with the smoke, with the flashes. They haven't really used anything too much. They still got 3 guys with Kevlar. Not a lot of damage taken at all, actually. It's only PM who's been tagged down a little bit.
Yeah, and I'm pretty sure this slowdown from Epsilon is because they did get spotted. So now they're waiting and hoping that Team Property is going to assume that maybe they're rotating back. And actually, if you look at Zed, he's the one rotating back towards the B bomb side. So that just tells you a little bit about the doubt that may be on the CT side here.
They made noise running away, dude. This is a fake from Epsilon.
Yeah.
They sent one guy running back and you saw the instant reaction. But now it looks like the smoke flashes. Everything's going to go raining in here, and it's going to be an A take from Epsilon. They're just going to speed up behind this. 3 guys, soon to be 4, are here for Property, though. And this is going to turn into a blender.
Oh, Delito does take down the first kill, but Foxio will drop the next guy, and Delito going for a battle will drop the bomb, but he's trying to reload right in the face of GMX. And Delpan is on 6 health. Trying to jump down. Got to be careful about the gravity then. The bomb will be planted, and there's nothing Delpan can do anymore. Spitfire shows off right afterwards, so essentially they're fighting one at a time here, and it's going to be easy to finish off the last kill. So Epsilon, they make their smoke round work, only they slowed it down quite a bit. And I kind of wish we could replay that round without Delito peeking, because I'm pretty sure what we would have seen is you would have seen Epsilon get really close to the main entrance of A, then wait there for a second until GMX throws the smoke, and then they would have gone within the first 10 seconds or something like that. Whereas instead now, they waited long enough for Team Property to maybe have some doubts about what was going on, and then they did it anyway. And it worked.
Ooh, not $1 spent in this round by Property. Not $1, not a cent. This is interesting. Okay, well, this leaves an option here for Property to go for a force buy in the next round. Be amazed if they did it, just because they are on the favorite side, and it's still very early on in the half, but they could perhaps be planning some shenanigans here on the CT side. Epsilon, however, full buy on their side. No SMGs, so they, the buff, they don't care. Ooh, nice shots there.
Yeah, PM taking care of business. A little bit surprised that Foxio has actually picked up a scout on the terrorist side.
Well, at the same time, it's Foxio, right? Anything with the scope, and he's going to wreak havoc.
And he seems to be slightly crazy anyway, so maybe it's just it's just a thing. They're going to get into the bomb side either way. Spitfire's gone down. Zed is going to fall down. And Delito, well, he's trying his best with that soft gun pistol.
That's the USP is such a frustrating pistol. I mean, either you feel like God when you're landing the headshots and you're just like, yes, strike from the heavens, and then if you miss the shots, you just feel like you're shooting a squirt gun at them. Like, it's just horrible.
It doesn't work out so well.
All right, no crazy buys coming out here from Property, though. Just a little bit of money invested, $1,300 more or less. So CZ's picked up a smoke nade that goes down. Spitfire getting smoked up in mid, however, trying to lay perhaps a little bit of an ambush. This could be a big opportunity here for Property if Epsilon were to go for a mid play. But right now, Epsilon, they've got 3 guys floating around the entrance to B, and there just so happens to be nobody here. More interesting, however, is Delito actually pushing in through Squeak, trying to get into T-spawn here, and there's a man waiting around the corner. Scream now, he should be in a position to be able to spot this, though.
He's looking the wrong way, but so is Delito. He's going to go down. That sort of gives up the game. Now they definitely know that there's a lot of focus around the A bomb site. And they've also kind of checked half of B, so yeah. Epsilon finding the right angle and the right timing right now. The Delpan will take down Foxio. Should still be an easy bomb plant coming into this one.
They want Scream. They've got 2 guys heading over there right now. And they will manage to pick him up with that CZ-75. It's the farmer who picks up that gun, too. Now they have 2 rifles here. Well, the scout off Fox, but they've also picked up Scream's Galil. So this is a nice play here by Property. They've actually got some firepower to work with.
Surprised Delpan didn't land that shot. He's going to go down. Uzi didn't get tagged either, so that's a little bit of a shame. It would have been fun if they could have, kept the scout. But either way, they're going to be able to buy next round. So even saving the Galil, it's good if they can, but it's not really essential at this point. It's just fun.
Yeah, it's not the end of the world if they were to lose it. Still, you're holding on to $2,000, so you've got $2,000. You've got a smoke on you. It's not a bad play here for Zed to actually hold on to this. Maybe just have a little bit of money in reserve So they should be able to full buy regardless of, basically they went for such a hard eco in the second round that they should have no trouble at all full buying here on property. And we can see that in the nades and the gear.
Yeah, and actually Lito picked up the ult for Delpan so he could get full grenades, and then in return he has nothing himself. So sacrificing himself a little bit for the team is kind of cool. Well, we'll see. Now's the time for Team Property to step it up, because we saw earlier how difficult it was getting these T rounds. Epsilon already being at 3 is a pretty good sign for them. They got the first kill on Delito as well. Zed trying to play a game here. Galil versus AK. Gotta be careful.
Yeah, Uzi playing that well, dropping him down to 40 HP. Delpan is still here with that AWP, however, working on the CT. And look at how Property are holding right now. If Epsilon were to go for their smoke round on A, where they smoke off, where they use 2 smokes to block off CT spawn, this would be fantastic, actually. It would all come down to Zed really just trying to hold off the push. But it looks like Epsilon right now, at least they're gathering up for it. They may actually go for this play. Seems like they're getting in position to throw the smokes.
Yeah, and this is great because we were watching Hellraisers. We were kind of talking about how this round never really worked because none of the teams on the CT side ever were in a good position for it, or in a bad position, really. But this time, if Epsilon did it, you're right, it definitely worked a lot better. Zed would have to, guard the forklift all on his own, and the guy helping out, Delpan, would get smoked out. So, yeah, those are the smokes. Zed, now you're on your own. Delpan actually does this is a tough choice, but he runs through the smoke to try and get up close, and we'll see if it's going to work out or not. Zed here is going to get the opening shot on PM, but he's going to get overrun, and Delpan goes down to Scream. So, yeah, that's the downside of pushing up with the AWPs. If you miss your shot, you're dead.
Pretty much.
And if you stay on the other side, Zed is for sure dead, so,
And do you attempt the retake when you're a man down already at the start of that play? Yeah. That's another thing that, Property, it's going through their minds.
If we go to PM really quickly here, we can tell that this is the position. If Delpan was holding right here to begin with, and the smokes go down, which is what Hellraisers and actually Epsilon 2 are doing when they were on the CT side, it's a lot more effective. But him having to run for the smoke...
They have a smoke that blocks that part, though.
Yeah, but even then, it's easier to rotate around. Much easier than in Delpan's position when he was here. It's definitely much worse for him.
Being caught out in the open. Yeah. Farmer still manages to pick up GMX, so they're managing to do a little bit of damage here. Spitfire could get a freebie. He's going to get it. Nicely done. Scream is down, so that's 2 kills coming in here for Property. Still not bad work, but you've still got PM sitting on $10,000 bank right now, and Uzi full bot sitting at nearly 8. So this is still a very strong economy here on Epsilon's side, whereas Property, they still have Set because of that Galil he managed to hold on to. He's still got some decent bank, but the rest of them are pretty much kind of floating in the mid round. So it's going to be another round of eco here for Property.
That's 5 Molotovs on the Epsilon side. I'd love to see them try and just firebomb this B-bomb side. That could be so much fun.
Or get the headshot straight up. Delpan gone. Flash into mid, the Scream Tech take a look at the left. Yes, he does. It's going to be the spray battle, and it's actually going to be PM to find that frag. Coming in from the boost, so good save there. Spitfire with a nice nade on the GMX, though, is going to slow things down here on the B side, but it's still a 1-on-4 situation, and they know where he is now at this point.
But they're hunting for him anyway. They could just go and put the bomb down at A, and then, go back and try and fight him, but actually they're just like, nah, we'll just come and root you out of this bomb site, and Uzi will pick up this kill, make it a triple for himself, and put Epsilon at 5 rounds. Leaving Property, well, actually, there's a lot of money on Zed.
Yeah.
So Property, I mean, they've got some sort of bank going from that eco, but...
Just Set, though. It's that Galil that he saved a couple rounds ago. That's what allows him to have more money than his compatriots. Now, however, kind of drops down. He's still gonna have that extra 2,000 basically over the rest of his teammates at all times. But now Property have spent everything in this round, so it's the big time here for them to step up and actually get on this board.
Oh, what's GMX doing? Yeah, he's sneaking up. They boost right in front of him, and that smoke that was put up by them allows them to get that boost in. But GMX, is he gonna? If he looks up and checks the vent, he's going to see that it's broken, and that'll be a big sign. Yeah, oh, he should know, and that's an easy kill on Spitfire. Nicely done by GMX, just ninjaing his way in, and a great headshot onto the last player in that bomb site. That opens up everything. He's going to smoke up and
he pushes through!
Yeah, he's going to run through the smoke. This is a nice little mind game here. And this could be the first, a great round for Epsilon here. And Property, I mean, what could they do at this point?
Oh, GMX, the aggression from him. Unadulterated, and this is FXYO. Foxyo, he picks up Delito, but he's going to be able to make a getaway through the vents. He's not going to take the nade damage. Oh, down to 4 HP. But GMX was relentless this round. 3 frags for him, but more importantly, just completely opening up the B site and even pushing in with the aggression, making sure that Property couldn't get in position to be able to get anywhere near retaking that site. Like, him getting into CT like that stops the rotation cold. They have to get forced out into mid where he's got his mates waiting for him. So this is a really nice play coming in here from Epsilon. 6 rounds on the board now. T side of Cash is just a very strong scoreline. And now Foxyo, peekaboo.
Oh, jumping headshot on Delpan. all is fair in love and war, but that was definitely a little bit dirty.
And GMX is still on a tear right now. Delito nearly takes out one. He drops Scream to half. Uzi with the body block to save his mate.
That was such a kinky move by Fox Show. I'm wondering if, yeah, we're pretty gonna see it at the end. That was really fun. 7-0. I mean, the score right now speaks for itself. Property, they aren't making much headway right now. I kind of wish they would go for like some aggression, because at this point you might as well just try and throw anything in there, right? So boost in the middle, move up towards the squeak door, even move in through A main if you want to, or go for the B push like we've seen a couple of people do. Again, they boost up, and GMX actually is going to get taken down. He was trying to shoot through there.
Yeah, nicely done there. Farmer getting a good read through that smoke. So Property actually have an entry crack to go off of here. Uzi just going for some 80-80 spray through into A main, hoping to get lucky and find somebody. It's going to be PM. Peekaboo picks out Spitfire. And the vents are now clear. There's only one guy holding, although the rotation is coming in from set to get over to this B site fairly quickly. But Epsilon seem to have their sight set on the A site. This is looking like Scream trying to find that headshot, and he's not going to get it. Delpan makes it around the corner of quad boxes and stays alive.
Yeah, because Delito took down the guy towards Squeak, he can come in and help out here. So right now, Epsilon are not in a great position. Zed is going to pick up 2 great kills. Scream falling, and now, well, Fox Joe, here's the bomb right behind him, but don't see him shooting his way out of this one.
No, that's still... He's still got 39 seconds. Oh, but he's not going to be able to check around that corner, is he? Delpan is still there with that AWP. And there you go. Easy as you please. Delpan picks up the frag, and now Property are on the board. CT side. This is where the danger... This is where the danger like kind of sets in here for Property, because they're going to spend a lot of their money re-upping here. Although they still have a decent amount on 3 of their players, actually. So maybe they could go for some kind of force if they were to lose this round. I think they would, just because they're so ridiculously far behind now in the half.
Wonder what would have happened that round if Scream hadn't missed that pretty easy kill on the guy up in the 8 bombs. Yeah, you got a feeling maybe that could have changed a lot. But
definitely.
Property making the most out of surviving here, and they're finally on the scoreboard. And small steps, right?
Yeah, exactly. Well. So it comes down to, I mean, Epsilon have got to be feeling pretty giddy right now as well. They've got 7 rounds at the beginning of the half on their T side, so it's about as good as it gets. And now they're just wondering, why the hell couldn't we bring this kind of performance versus Hellraisers, right? That's something for the past. Now it's all about Epsilon just, well, pushing their advantage here so far in this first half.
Kind of nice Molotov into the corner. I actually love to see Delito walk into where the Molotov was just thrown, because in Epsilon's minds, they fully just checked that corner with the Molotov. So if he walks over there now, they might not even try and look. Instead, he's sort of in the bomb site with Delpan. This is not necessarily a great position. If Delpan keeps moving forward to check a different angle and just has Delito covering the door for him, it could work a lot better, I think. But they've got the opening kill on Uzi, so let's see how they can do it. He's actually scoped up right through here, and he's not quite quick enough. He's going to go down. Scream with the 1 kill. Delito completely flashed. Bomb right in front of him, but now he gets time to reload. Can't get the follow-up kill. Zed over from the forklift is going to get taken down. GMX with a good double here. And there's still a 2-on-2. 20 seconds left. Where is that bomb plant?
Well, the molly goes down. This might get toasty here, but they're going to be able to dodge it. And now Epsilon just camp on this side. Fox, great shot onto Farmer, and GMX finds yet another frag. Another triple kill round for GMX in particular. And he pretty much brought his team back to a position where they could take that round with that kill on set and the one to follow it. I mean, that is just... Again, GMX with the individual play. Him and Uzi both are doing magnificent work right now for Epsilon, sitting at the top of the board.
And I'm really concerned about Property setup in that A bomb site. I feel like...
Again, it's too much on Delpan, right?
Yeah, and the forklift, being over by the truck means they get smoked off. If they're in the bomb site, they were both essentially holding the same angle then. I mean, that's not really a good idea.
And we go for another force buy here from Property. Again, it reset their money, so they have to go for it. Flash in. Peekaboo.
And no, it was a good opening. Now he's got 2 bullets left here. He's going to have to try and reload. But at least they got the return, and that's something. Zed taking a fight in the middle. They do have a couple of rifles still here. Like we talked about, they forced it up by even losing the round. They just keep going here. And it's not going to work out so well for them. It's a 2-on-3. And the bomb is going to go down to this B bomb site just about any second. Delpan, he went for a chance knife on PM, and it just doesn't work out.
He couldn't pull a steal. Only steel can pull a steal. Or maybe he just found out that he was made of tin. That's a sad moment there for Delpan. Delito's he's got the AWP 1v3 camping out in CT, and he's just probably going to hide here and hope that he could be free because right now it's not looking too good for him at all. Epsilon.
With the knife out. I immediately regret this decision.
Right? I mean, you saw him just turn away like, nope.
I cannot withstand firepower of this magnitude. Get me out of here. Yeah, that was not good, and especially because Property are only going to have this AWP going into the 11th round. Unless, of course, he gets found. He does get the first pick off here. Now it's all about hiding behind the van, and yeah, everyone else is going to have basically nothing. I wouldn't even be that much opposed to them just going for pistol armor, because 9 rounds is already so good for Epsilon. I think Property, they need to trust in this AWP to keep them alive.
They have to, well, exactly. They're going to have to count on big work coming out from him. Otherwise, it's you play passively with the AWP, and then you just kind of play in a position where you're going to be able to save. You're hoping that you can get the entry frag, but then if it doesn't work, you need to be in a position to get out of there just to hold on to that gun. If your team decides to force up in the next round, having that AWP could make the difference. But right now, it's going to be just aggressive peeking coming out here from Delito, actually checking up towards B, seeing if anybody's hanging around here for Epsilon. But so far, GMX is playing it pretty passively, just hiding out in Toxic and not showing anything.
And actually, that's that's just a nice tiny detail, because we've seen the other side of GMX playing the B-bomb side, where he's been really aggressive and peeking in towards Checkered. So this time, it's basically just GMX on guard duty, making sure they don't get flanked. That's all he wants to do. So those are just 2 different versions of playing the same position from the Epsilon point of view. That's kind of fun to catch little things like that. But actually, now that he's off guard, you can see the Farmer has been moving up quite aggressively. And that could have been a problem until PM found him. But yeah, bit of an attempt there.
Yeah, the Farmer got plowed.
That's right.
And now the question is, does Delito suffer the same fate? The smoke is going to clear eventually. He's kind of caught out in the open, and he's going for the big play here. He's trying to walk up close. Is he going to be able to sneak his way out here? He could potentially get out through A main.
He's got a kit. If you just walked all the way over and hoped for the best, it would have been kind of cool. But they're basically all around him.
He's gonna get out.
Escaping is definitely the best option right now.
Oh wow, the fadeaway shot. Does Delito make it? He gets caught on the edge. Oh, it's way too close. He's going to get the shot. They're going to be hot on his heels, though, but he's wrapping back around. I love this play. Delito with the mind games.
Best thing would be if he had enough time to just run in and defuse the bomb from Squeak. That would be the ultimate play.
Oh, he gets spotted out by Fox Yo, though. The game is up.
Try not to run into the bomb, but he's going to survive, yeah. And I don't think they can catch him yet. The Molotov. All right. He was just testing it. So, yeah, I mean, great play overall, right? 2 kills and saving the AWP, but if we look at the bigger picture, just take a step back here, it's still Epsilon with 10 rounds on the first half here. Yeah, this map is definitely not working out like Property had wanted.
No, so far, this is not playing out. I mean, it's a CT-sided map, but, you can still have a strong T-side. The question is, Property, mix 2 stand-ins. Are they going to be able to bring a T-side to the table? It's going to be really tough, especially versus what we saw from Epsilon earlier versus Hellraisers. So Uzi spots out a man on short, not going to get anything done there. It's going to be Delpan holding up close, and this time around, Delpan has that M4A1, so he could do some damage here, and Set already picking up the first kill on Scream.
Yeah, Property definitely with slightly better position to deal with it, but it's only Delpan left, so the 1-on-1 trade doesn't work out so well for them, and GMX just keeps getting these entry frags, and now they've lost the bomb site, so...
Really nice flash as well there. Delpan, that was just unfortunate timing for him. Nicely timed for Epsilon, but for Delpan, he was in a good position, but that flash was just perfect for Epsilon to push through that smoke. And now, well, it's a 3-on-3 situation here. 3-on-2 now, 3-on-1. Delito, as I say, is now the last man alive here for Property, and he's just trying to back off and hold on to this AWP again. Yeah,
same scenario as last time. So it's a bit of a shame, because Property actually had decent positions to deal with the kind of smoke play that was coming in there. But when you lose that guy really early on, and Delpan had no backup, like the other 3 people on the map for Property were all the way past middle towards the B-bomb site. They weren't even in middle where they could have just run up. Even if they had to run through smoke or something to help him out, there was nothing that... I mean, for Delpan to win that, he has to take at least 2 or 3 people with him for them to get back into the round, and that just didn't happen, so... Yeah.
It's almost as if Property missed the memo that Epsilon love A smoke rounds.
Well, I mean... Again, I think that their setup was better than previous. It still revolved around them getting some really great entry frags. They didn't.
Oh, well, the Farmer This time around manages to pick up the entry on GMX in particular, which is a great frag to get, seeing as how Epsilon, I mean, he's been doing a lot of work for them. Uzi, Scream, Foxio, however, just striking right back, and they bring it into a 4-on-2 situation. Now Property still trying to perhaps pick up a gun. GMX, his AK is just so tantalizingly close.
They really want it.
You're not going to get it. Oh, you're going to get a barbecue instead. Oh,
I think that went just too far.
Oh, he's blocked in the corner now. Delito, eyes on him. He's just looking at that vent. His escape. Can he make that jump? Oh, this bait. This bait is perfect.
Foxio trying to run away. 3-on-2 here. 13th round, and Epsilon no doubt going to win it. But I mean, you got to give it to Property. They've been keeping this hope alive how many rounds?
This is
like the 5th round. They basically
for what? For Property? No, this is Delpan's op. This is Foxio's op. They just picked it up.
Oh, they just picked it up. Sorry.
Yeah. Foxio. But I guess you could say that they got revenge on Foxio. Delpan, does he get another one? Yes, he does. Very nicely done.
Yeah, the other op survived for like 3 rounds, and then it was gone. You're right.
Foxio put an end to that op.
And now they're just like furiously hunting because they really don't care anymore on Epsilon. They have so much money to deal with whatever they want. Delpan, I will pick up the final kill. So, I mean, that kind of looks good on his personal scoreboard, but it doesn't look so good for Property overall. 12-1. Not sure what to say. Obviously, Epsilon combined this round and the next round, even if they lose it, they got plenty of banks. And again, 5 Molotovs. Can we just see like one round where they just fire on the B-bomb site from outside? It'd be so much fun.
It would be sick because from Toxic you can put them through the windows and just bank them all over the place. I mean, that would be a very cool take strat. That right now Epsilon actually going back to tried and true. They're just spread out across the map right now, making sure that Property can't push in and play aggressive anywhere. It's total map awareness right now for Epsilon.
Double up setup for Property is actually not that much of a bad idea. It's just very late in the game to try it, because I can think of nothing more depressing than Property realizing this double up setup works, but that they only did it in the 14th round. That would truly be sad. It's kind of a cool idea, especially because they can leave Delito over at the checkered and then potentially pull more people back to the middle if they wanted to. They just got to control the middle, because otherwise he's going to get faked out or sort of flanked from the vents too. And now that they lose mid control, it means Delito's position is very bad.
There's those mollies already. Going to work. It's going to slow things down here. JMX checking the angles, taking a little bit of a love tap there from his teammate. Delpan is going to go ahead and do one better, but then Foxio steps in and finds the headshot on him. So 4-on-3, now a 4-on-2 as the Farmer gets overwhelmed. And this is looking like another Epsilon round. The bomb plant is going to happen in Property. Not really in positions to retake it, but they have to go. They need to get rounds on the board.
Nice reaction shot from Sed there. Almost brings down Uzi, but still leaves his teammate alone. And it will be the final kill coming in there. Yeah, from Scream, in fact.
It doesn't feel like we've seen too much of Scream, actually, in this half. And, yeah, he's only sitting at 9 frags right now. Ever since that Delpan round.
Screamylicious.
Is it Screamylicious? It is Screamylicious.
That's what he's called himself. It's a great name.
Yeah, the Delpanator. I do like the Farmer, though. That's a better name.
Better than his original name, for sure. Well, Scream hiding in the corner, and actually Delito getting completely flashed here. Scream going for a bit of a spray down. Actually controls it rather well. Now GMX pushing in. They forgot to check the checkered room, but Foxio will make sure he takes care of that. And this is just, yeah, a complete steamroll here. We're looking at a 14-1 victory for Epsilon in the first half on this map.
Uzi. Oh, man. He couldn't have made that look any easier if he tried.
Wow.
Lives with 1 HP. That was perfection.
Not really much to talk about here.
Well, I mean, Epsilon showing that they can beast. I mean, now the question is, do they clean sweep? Do they just carry on from here? Like business as usual. Thank you very much, Property. But we're going to go ahead and collect this first map and move on to Dust 2, our second map here of the night. Or in this best of 3, rather.
I feel like... Okay, so Property have 2 stand-ins, and we're talking about Property playing a little bit like a mixed team, probably because of it. And one of the reasons why, one of the ways, and we can kind of see that was true, is when they had the double-up setup and they put Delito into a checkered room, which is a good idea initially, because he can call the B-bomb site all on his own, or at least if anybody shows up, and even if he misses the shot, he can really still call for backup and say, I need some help. But that only works if Property is actually holding middle. Otherwise, he's in checkered, looking out towards Toxic, and in the meantime, they can just come through the vent if nobody's holding middle. So, and that was the big problem, because that just, I mean, and the other thing is, if they're holding middle, they can come and help him out through the vent. if somebody does come close. So I think that's like a clear sign that Property actually aren't playing all that much like a team, but they're kind of relying quite heavily on getting some sick frags. And well, GMX is doing just that. Excellent headshots to start off the bidding here.
He's bid fairly high. Looks for that third one. Delito just barely getting into checkered there, but he's losing his teammates left and right. Uzi with the double kill of his own. GMX hunting for that third frag. He's not going to get it. Delito with the double kill, in fact. It's going to start things off. But it's going to be that 15th round for Epsilon, and now Epsilon are going to have the guns. They have everything they need here to close out this first map in style. Property have to go for a force buy and just cross their fingers and hope for the best. They need to take the next 14 rounds in a row. And PM is going for the Pro 90.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm not sure I can't even really come up with anything truly positive to say here about what's going on for Property, and they are getting shut down all over the board. We've got 2 deals left, so the best thing I can say is maybe we could hope for like a 1 dig, but it's not even going to happen. That is a victory if I've seen one. 16-1 for the Epsilon team, showing us how it's done here on Cash. That was quicker than I expected.
I don't think any of us expected it to be that much of a clean sweep, honestly. I mean, we do know that Epsilon is the favorite team going into it, but Property, you do expect a little bit more of a fight there. I mean, you still have the likes of Delpan set on that team. Emilio not there, though, and he's usually one of the go-to guys that we expect to see do big for that team, and he wasn't here. He was definitely replaced by one of those stand-ins, as well as Jumpy. But
yeah, shame that Rape wasn't playing on the other team, because it would have been apt.
It would have been fitting.
Yeah. Well,
let's go ahead and
take
take
a look at the recap, guys. Yeah.
And see what's happening here. So, I mean, it's actually quite a pleasure to see GMX really step up big in this map and just carry his team through. I mean, he had round after round of just solid plays, smart plays, and just landing the shots.
Yeah, definitely had some good moments. I don't know. I think I like the idea of the double up setup. I just wish they had the positions to actually support what they were doing. If not that, I still wish they would have pushed more aggressively. Because for the main part on this first half, where Epsilon are playing on the T side, they actually let Epsilon control the game pace almost entirely, right? They never put any pressure in it. They never told the Frenchmen or the Belgians to sit down. They just did whatever they wanted to, and that obviously worked.
I mean, basically, yeah, exactly. That we didn't see the Hellraiser's aggression come out on the CT side.
No.
At all. It wasn't like halfway through the half they figured out, oh, wait, okay, maybe we can start pushing them a little bit here, pushing them there, going for the counter boost mid, or the boost up in garage on the red that we saw Kucher go for. I mean, none of that happened here. It was just kind of like, we're going to sit back and try and play passively and land the shots.
Yeah.
Only problem is that Scream, Foxyo, GMX in particular, are just running around, and every time there is a duel, they happen to win it. If you're relying on the rifles to get the job done for you, you need to just win that. But it's going to be a very short break now, guys, before we get into our second map. Dust 2 coming up next between Epsilon and Property.
Nu är nya Casumo.com här. Just nu får du dubbelt på kontot och 110 gratis chanser att vinna storkovan. Casumo, ett kasino. Casumo.com.
Tjena och välkommen till Estrella Lifehacks. Idag tänkte jag visa hur man gör Estrella-viket, alltså om du har kvar chips i påsen. Gör så här att du viker 1, 2, 3 gånger. Tar du kanterna, vik in dem, ta i det fram och liksom vik över alltihop. Så håller chipsen sig fräscha och krispiga. Finns det något godare?
right, welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the Fragmite Masters Season 3 Counter-Strike Global Offensive Tournament. We are about to wrap up Group C with our first best of 3, and that's on the line. But it's looking like Epsilon pretty heavily favored so far in this match. They just crushed Property in the first match of this best of 3 series. Dust 2 is up next, and if there ever was a map for Property to come back in this series, it's Dust 2. It has to happen now for them.
Yeah, I mean, Epsilon, room for improvement. They could have won 16-0, but on Property, feels like there's a little bit more work to be done. And to be fair, they did have 2 stand-ins. That makes it a little bit tricky, and we saw some evidence that did impact like their communication and how set their setups were.
Well, what they could really do, with the creative. Well, it's like, okay, we're gonna play set, safe, and standard, and what we know. Because basically we don't have the freedom to go around and try and go for those YOLO pushes, even though I think they could have definitely, like maybe on the individual level, gone out and taken those fights. Only problem is, every time they did take the peak, guess who was waiting for the Manders? Starts with a G.
Exactly, GMX.
Ends with an X.
But
he just beasted them.
The upside is they're going to be playing on the ultimate YOLO map, which is Dust 2. Yeah. So, I mean, I really hope to see...
Delpan.
Yeah, and I just want to see Property just go completely nuts here.
Although it seems like Delito has been having a bit more luck than Delpan with that AWP.
Yeah, to be honest.
So I wonder if, okay, if they start on the CT side, first thing they're going to go for is the double op. Like, they have to go for the double op Property.
I want to see Property, like, play so far out of the ordinary that it's going to be crazy.
They need to go full Titan, is what you're saying?
Yeah, just whatever they can pick up. Auto snipers and shotguns, auto shotguns. Negevs, whatever comes to mind. Whatever.
BK isn't on Titan anymore, though, dude.
It doesn't matter. Just whatever they feel like picking up, they just do it, and without even second guessing it, because it just has to be, like, it has to be something that they'll never expect. Essentially, what I'm saying is that if they try and play this game normally,
it's not going to happen.
I'm pretty sure Epsilon are going to destroy them on Dust 2 as well.
Yeah,
that feels very likely.
I feel like Foxio can take the offers right now on Property as well.
Yeah.
It's really tough when you're thinking about it. When you think about a team that's also relying very heavily on their offers, I mean, we even saw them prioritizing Delpan, right, in their buys, saying, okay, Delito, he'll eat this bullet, drop an AWP for Delpan, and, like, have no nades in the round. But, they want to get that sniper rifle out there. They need to make sure that it's happening. Yeah,
well, look at it this way. When you're used to playing with your normal team, especially on the CT side, you get sort of a feel for how the people holding around your position they're holding. So eventually you don't have to tell them that much. Right? You don't have to communicate all the time because you kind of know what they're doing. But Property don't right now. Epsilon, though, is going to be starting on the CT side, and they're going to try and fall back, but the lock train is en route, and the next terminal here is going to be GMX. He's trying to fall back, but... he's got to do a lot quicker. They actually do have a bit of a firing squad in the CT spawn, so that's good news. And Foxio is sneaking up from behind. So now it's actually Property that need to move quite a bit faster than they are right now. Scream's taking 1 kill now. Foxio coming up from behind, and that's an easy shot on Delito. Going for a little bit more, and now PM's waiting up here. So Property, such a good start, such a horrible finish.
That's pretty much how you sum it up. I mean, they managed to get the early frag on Uzi, and then they get bogged down trying to deal with GMX. And I mean, Fox with a great flank, granted, but they just couldn't stop the push.
So there's a few key moments in a round like this where decisions have to be made on both sides. Epsilon had a choice in the beginning to try and fall back or fight. And they choose falling back, and actually that probably looked like the wrong choice because they got caught, and GMX might have just as well have gone down. So
I think if they stay in that situation with the flashes that happened there, they die instantly.
It could be, but I mean, at this point, there was a really big chance they would have just both gone down. And at least if they fight, they could maybe take some people with them. But either way, it's a choice to make.
Yeah.
Follow-up to that is Property, once they get the opening kill, they have a choice to make, which involves either keep pushing or fall back. And they kind of did something in between. They waited a little bit, and Epsilon bought a lot of time to get into better position. Foxio, obviously, the most important coming up from behind, but even in CT spawn, GMX managed to fall back. So
Scream as well.
Yeah, Scream as well. So that was kind of what settled the round, I think, actually. Property, if they'd kept pushing, would have had probably a better chance. Or if they had fallen back, they would have had a better chance. Because falling back would have landed them a kill on Foxio. He was, coming up behind them.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
But they did something in between, and generally that could be a little bit tricky.
Getting caught in between, uncomfortable place.
They got the bomb down, though. They lost the second round really clearly. Epsilon not really losing many members in that round, or any at all. And Property, well, they have AKs.
Yeah, they do have AKs. They have very limited nades, though. Only 2 guys with a decent nade count, and they're going again out to A. But look at this. GMX already shutting down the farmer. No, sir. The sun has set. It's time for you to go to sleep. And this is not looking good. Once again, for Property, it's going to be double entry frag here for Epsilon. They're even going for the cheek now. They're going to go for the boost in mid.
What are they actually doing?
Like, they can't. It's like they don't want to. They can't agree on who's actually going to be on top, right? Come on, who's the top and who's the bottom?
That was worse than nails on a chalkboard. That was, that really pains me. Just watching two people chest bump each other in the middle for no reason. Delpan punishes them, and rightly so. You got to kill people when they start a circus like that. Delito, he's alone in a 1-on-4 though, so Epsilon's, you know, weird shenanigans in the middle actually don't cost them that much. That's a really sexy headshot though on DMX. Pretty nicely done. Whether it'll make a difference in the round, well, he's got the time to get all the kills if he wanted to, but if he tries to go back and pick on the bomb and then go back and fight them, I think that's going to take too long. I think the best choice is fight.
Fight? All right.
Fight.
Let's go full Conan here. Delito. He's going to get snuck up on, and, well...
Oh, did he fall over the ledge? I think his body did. Yeah, no chance.
Yeah, that was brutal. I think we had a pause come in here from Property as well, so we'll see what's...
Which of the fighting games start like that, when some guy just says, fight?
Fight, that's Mortal Kombat, isn't it?
Is that Mortal Kombat?
Oh, that's also SF.
Ah.
Street Fighter.
My knowledge of fighting games is really limited. I'm the sort of person that play fighting games by just mashing all the buttons and then hope that something works.
You're one of those, like, you are like so infuriating. It's like crouch sprayers, basically. You know, it's like you know, when you get really annoyed at people spraying at you in DM, Anders, you know, that really like pisses you off, right? That gets your goat.
Yeah.
Yeah. Mashers, when I play fighting games, mashers, that's how I feel. I'm just like, oh my god, why are you just hitting all the buttons?
Actually,
Stop.
So if I find like one thing that works, I might just keep doing that forever. Just like, this punch.
You're like James. You'll take like Ken and just mash DP the entire round.
Yeah.
Yeah, just DP.
That's basically it.
You're a horrible person, man.
And then I'm even worse than that actually, because if it works, I'll be interested enough to keep playing. If it doesn't work, I'll be just like, these console games, I don't want to play them. Like a really bad winner and loser at the same time. Horrible. That's why I don't play those games.
That's why I'm never playing those games with you. If the opportunity ever arises, it's not going to happen, man.
I don't know. DreamHack though.
Yeah, DreamHack is always great though, man. You always have the layout, so you can just come and sit. They usually leave sticks around, so you can actually just play.
That was
always
cool.
a good time. Man, that's actually something I've been fiending for. Is I've been watching, you know, Excellent Adventures of Gutex and Mike Ross again. It's been so long since I watched that stuff. Ah, cool. So we've actually got an update, guys. It looks like the farmer is out of the map. He's gone to go milk his cow or something. And Emilio...
I hope that's what he's doing.
He's going to need it after the first map, right? And Emilio is stepping in. So Emilio is back. And this could actually make a big difference for Property.
One hopes, right? Because it kind of feels like they... If nothing else, I want to see Property sort of properly represent themselves here. Because they're definitely a better team than what we saw in Cash. I mean, we were having fun at their expense and all that, because it is funny, but... Epsilon,
well, that's the thing. You know, we need to see them kind of fight loose, because Epsilon certainly made them their property on the first map.
You're not allowed to own people any longer, Samler. That's illegal. I know you're from the States.
It's just your reaction. Your reaction to it is what does it,
for a long time, but... You know,
it's time to break the chains. Is that what you're saying?
That's what I'm saying.
Oh man,
nothing more.
Well, let's see. Emilio coming in now. Let's try and picture how this is going to play out. Because Emilio, man, last time we saw Emilio, was it on Dust 2? I think it was on Dust 2 that he dropped the 30 bomb.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, it was on Dust 2. So this guy definitely feels comfortable on Dust 2. He can play the position.
When you say like imagine him coming in, I'm kind of thinking. Like a wrestling match where they tag him in and then he's standing on the ropes
or like the corner
and just like jumps in and just lands on like half the Epsilon team. It has to be that kind of effect,
Time
right?
for a ram jam.
Yeah, exactly.
Dude, I mean, I can see that. I actually see it. You know, you ever seen that gif where like the ref comes like flying in to tap the guy, or he comes sliding across the canvas? Yeah. You know, that's what I'm picturing Emilio right now. It's like, you know, Property, they don't exactly have Epsilon in the lock, you know, on the ground, but then Emilio just comes zipping out of nowhere and just takes out their legs. There you go. That's what's gonna happen. And he's got a chair too. He's got one of those fold-up chairs.
I feel like I've had a few good examples in my life where I could sort of like have a real measure of how stupid people in general are. But the first time I realized was about in the 5th grade, when all of my friends were convinced that wrestling was real and not just like a show, and I realized you guys are just stupid. So yeah,
It's not about that though, man.
it isn't about that. And I've actually come to appreciate that later. That it's not really about it being real, but they still thought
insult my culture, Anders. You're gonna hurt my feelings.
Now wrestling is kind of hilarious. It has like a certain homoerotic feel to it too, with all the spandex and everything. It's quite funny.
It's a good time.
Well, not so much fun in the middle as Scream and GMX clean up the property team, who only really have pistols, so they can't really do much of anything. GMX decides this other gun with only 4 bullets in it somehow better than the first one. Oh, they steal the bomb. Look at how angry he is. Like, I was keeping an eye on that. Actually, Delito. Yeah, look at that. I think GMX was wondering, wait a minute, what?
There's 2 of them?
Got the shot from the middle. What? All right, but they're going to get 2 kills in, which from Property's point of view isn't actually that bad. And they can afford the AWP on the Delpinator.
All right, this is going to be a really important AWP battle mid. Is that what we're going to see? Foxio could be setting up for it.
They're going to boost Foxio up here, which I much prefer. I feel like this boost is actually underutilized quite a bit. GMX cleans up Zed. Next in line is Emilio, who just got into the server, but he's facing 3 people up here. Look at this move from Epsilon. This is just some really cool play, especially combined with the short boost here. That means they move so much forward, and I feel like the term map control is so often thrown around without having any actual meaning to it, but this is what aggressive map control really means. Nice play from Epsilon. Yeah,
just getting, exactly, just taking away, basically, any kind of map presence from Property. Setting it up so that they have the momentum. They're just going to be able to force Property into these channels. A-long, this is where it's coming down to. Delpin missing a shot, though. That could have really opened things up for them on this site. It's just not going to happen, though. And now they have to slow play it and try and sneak their way forward. 57 seconds left on this clock, though, still means they have a lot of time. And look at this. Property are just going to be able to walk up here, and there you go. Spitfire finds Foxio on Cat.
Confused about why Delpan missed the shot to begin with, but they leave Delito in the middle to take down anyone rotating through, and that's a really nice move. PM is still coming in, so Delito's going to go down. Wasn't looking the right way at the right time, but he's still going to be alone. 1 on 2. He's got some time, and he's even got a Molotov, which is going to be really hard to land on Spitfire, but he's got so little health that if it does land, yeah, that's not going to land properly, unfortunately. Should have been further on up. And that actually, I think that was his only chance.
Pretty much. He just doesn't have the time. Is he going to be greedy? Yes, he will. Oh, and he gets away with the greed. Greed is good in this case. PM, he saves the AWP. This is a perfect play. He's going to be able to hand that off to Foxio and save a lot of money for his team in the next round.
Yeah,
Epsilon are on the least favorites. Oh, wow, and they even lose Spitfire. That's a bit of a mistake there for Property.
And Delpan's going to be scarred for life for that one. His friend sliding down to his feet. Exploded by his own bomb.
Well, you know, man, most bomb makers not around for long.
That's very true.
Oh, whoa. That didn't hit anybody? That looks pretty close. I'd like to see the replay of that. I don't know. It looked like he had the read. But still, 1-for-1 trade, actually, opening things up. It is a boost again here from Foxio onto Cat, but unfortunately for him, the angle is a bit too high. Gonna go for the flank, and he's not gonna get it.
Grenade will actually do fairly good damage here to Emilio and Zed. That wasn't too bad of a nade. Still into a 4-on-4, though Property is a little bit more softened up than Epsilon is. And if they are going to go for this split push, I feel like it's about to get crumble here. Spitfire is going to be up against 2 people, and that flashbang is basically perfect for Epsilon. So now half the push is gone, and if the rest of the push just keeps going up through short, they should be able to deal with this really cleanly. They don't even really have to stop them. They can just go for a retake at this point if they wanted to.
Exactly right. The plant is going to have to be open. Foxio missing a pretty crucial shot there, though, but it's going to be Uzi actually burning Set. A live Set must have run right into the flames.
Yeah, that's not good. Not good at all. Delpan goes down. Emilio quickly to follow, so they do defend the bomb site. No plant happening for Property, and that's just after a round win, so they're going to have pretty much no economy at all.
Wait,
look
okay,
how close this is. That's ridiculous.
Oh, he flicked like a pixel. A pixel.
Oh, Delpan.
That was so close to a headshot and a double tag.
Us.
That's such a shame there, Delpan. Sometimes Lady Luck, she can be a cruel mistress.
Although, to pick up on our bomb planting or bomb, making experience, I feel like if you had to play with any kind of explosive, probably C4 is a safer choice. Just because it's pretty hard to set off without electricity, so if not impossible.
What do we live in the Middle Ages here, Anders? You don't have a light bulb in your place?
Well, it's going to take more than that.
I mean, well, we'll leave it at that.
Molotov in the back here is going to force them out a little bit. And he's ready to clean up, but not quite ready enough. It looked like that should have been way more kills, but luckily Scream and Foxio was there to clean up the rest. So only PM goes down.
Yeah.
6-1 early on. Epsilon are really, they're just continuing the trend that they set on Cash. This seems like they're picking up on the same style here.
It's just total momentum control, basically. They maintain their money on the side. As you can see here, they're spreading it out well. Whenever they have to buy, they're able to just drop for their mates and maintain the fact that, okay, they will have money to even force up in the next round. So they've always got that safety net below them. And that allows them a little bit of freedom, to take the duels and really just establish dominance over Property in these rounds. They're not letting Property get any kind of momentum. And it's going to be a pistol round here from Property. Foxio, he's got that AWP. Not the best weapon for this, not the best tool for the job. But it looks like Property are going to try and get a little bit tricky here. They're going to gather up at mid, and this is going to be big. Scream, he has to hit all the shots.
So far, so good. 2 great headshots to begin with. Now the only one inside that bomb site is going to be PM. And actually, Zed takes a kill as well. So maybe PM could be going down, but oh, he's going to turn around just in time for the triple there. Takes down Zed at the end, and no bomb plant happening. Now that's a double eco that Property just had on the terrorist side. It's pretty rare to see a terrorist team double ecoing, and could bet you Property aren't happy about the situation.
Yeah, that's the thing. It's pretty rare because you're in a bad place when you have to eco twice on T side. That's just brutal, especially when Epsilon are able to hold on to it so well. When you're talking about Epsilon developing a solid bank, getting a solid anti-eco in like that, it's just brutal because Property now, they have to deal with Epsilon buying up for like 2 to 3 rounds.
Yeah.
So Scream is going to get the entry frag again here for the Frenchman. This is just looking way too good. Once again, for Epsilon, they just have the lead.
And Delpan did actually hit the early shot on him here and brought him down to half HP. So, Property even potentially had a good start here, but it's kind of been nullified by that kill. And they're just smoking off short all the time. Great Molotov actually from PM landing right in the middle. Delpan's going to take on GMX, and he was pushed up through the smoke on short, in fact, trying to see if he can maybe just be a little bit annoying. That brings it back in their favor.
Wow, great angle there by Seth through the smoke. Likely space. It's going to be Foxio holding solo on this A site, but that's not going to be the place for the party. It's going to be up on B, and Fox getting caught out in the open. This is the round here for Property. Delpan finding yet another frag. That's his second this round. Uzi, the last man alive on this B slope in a 1v3, having to try and stop this bomb plan if he can. It's just not going to be possible. Oh, wow. Set with impunity, just shutting him down.
Now, what's kind of a little bit tragic is that this isn't the round that Property can look back on and say, hey, let's replicate what we just did, because all they did was wait for Epsilon to push up and get killed. And the chances are Epsilon aren't going to keep doing that. So if they go back to playing passively, Property still pretty much have no answers for what will happen. I mean, it's a good job that they did it, but now instead they're facing a pretty aggressive Epsilon again, in fact. And PM is going to take down Emilio, so it's a double up setup on the CT side.
Yeah, that's definitely, I think that caught Property off guard, but Foxio had a golden opportunity there to get a free frag, and he did not. So,
yeah,
I mean, ultra aggressive and then missing the flick. Just not what we're used to seeing from Foxio, actually. He's definitely one of those guys who should be able to land a shot like that, which is why I am surprised. It explains everything. But Property now down a man yet again. Epsilon picking up that entry frag, and Scream with an AWP?
Yeah, because he's got so little health that they put him in a position where he's hard to grenade back there, and he could probably pick up a free kill. Oh, Fox. I think Spitfire just gave that away by throwing that bomb.
What are we seeing?
I don't know.
PM with a jumping shot onto Zet. You know what PM reminds me of right there? It's like you surprise a cat, and he just kind of like jumps up batting in the air. That's what just happened with PM there. Oh,
good pick from Delito. Going for a second, can't find it. And then I think Spitfire threw the bomb, and I think Foxio saw the bomb flying out. And he's like, oh wait, there's a guy coming out here. That's just unfortunate. And Property, well, they are gonna have to. Well, they could buy up on 3 people. It kind of depends. I mean, how many rounds do you really want to give away? Yeah, he sees the bomb first. That's so sad.
How many rounds? I mean, you're going to have to give up another one because you want Delpan to have that AWP, for example. You want those expensive rifles to work with. Uzi just trying to spray the best he can there, and he actually gets overwhelmed. That could give a gun here, and Set does manage to pick up that AK, so good outcome here for Property. Fox is all the way up at the top of mid alone. Nobody is here to support him. Okay, finally Scream comes rotating in. He has to hustle. He has to make sure that his opera doesn't get taken out here.
Yeah, and actually he will, but they're still doing a lot of damage right here, and the AK that they had previously has been taken away. And that kind of move from Fox is, I think, one of the reasons why he can be really hard having on a team sometimes.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, right now they're winning so much, I don't think anyone in Epsilon is going to be super frustrated with him. But, yeah.
That's 2 rounds back-to-back where he's gone for ultra aggression in mid. And Well, this time it works out. I mean, he still gets a kill. It just it puts Scream in a bit of a compromising position because I guess Fox is drawing the attention, and sure, it's an anti-eco round. You know, they only got pistols. You can be saying that as well, but it's still kind of drawing out your teammate into a bit of an awkward spot. If Scream doesn't land the shots there, he just gets taken out, and then Fox Yo gets sandwiched in, and then all of a sudden you've given Property 2 guns to play with. They already have an AK from Uzi at the start. Do you really want to give them more firepower?
Oh, Scream's already got a double. He's looking for more. He's going to pick up 2 more and make it a quad. And that finishes the round. And now Property, I think, they will have enough to buy here. So that's good news. 9-2. And I think a bit of a pause being called for really quickly. Sort out some issues. I mean, the scoreline kind of speaks for itself right here.
Yeah. It's just seeming... Well, I mean, we're seeing also maybe how it's not often we actually see it so clearly defined, but you know what the difference between playing as a full roster, that you're experienced, you know what you're doing, you have a game plan going into it, versus a team that's playing with a stand-in, right?
Yeah.
Although the last time we saw Property play with a stand-in, Emilio proceeded to just wreck house. So we're not seeing that standout performance right now from Emilio either. You know, he's kind of in the shadows lurking.
Yeah.
That's not ideal. Not when Property are counting on him to get some damage done.
I'd like to see them just go out in the middle until the initial smokes that Epsilon have put down almost every time. They seem to put down these smokes towards the middle doors. But once that's faded, just go for a B-split push. Try and see if that works.
Yeah.
And then hold down long and short at the meantime. Make sure you don't get flanked. Have one guy holding upper or 2 people even holding upper. Then have 3 people in the middle, one of them just looking behind, the other 2 just getting ready for the B-split push. And then do your best, essentially.
Sure.
Because it feels like the problem with the A push is they keep getting knocked down on long. So, I mean, they get up short, no problem. And usually they have, like, they could get all the way up so they can actually start running towards the bomb site. But they always lose whoever comes out of long. And that means the push is more or less useless.
Yeah. You're losing that second pincer, right? You've only got 1 pincer.
Yeah.
And that turns into more of like a poke than anything. It's not the best. So, you want that crushing vice grip, Anders.
Yes. You're right indeed. Oh,
whoa, Uzi. Too hot in the hot tub. Get out.
I mean, actually it's kind of a cool idea because, you know, you take 30 damage, but maybe you're going to surprise the guy who's on the other side, not thinking anyone would be insane enough to go through it. But
sure.
That doesn't work out that way.
That'll always be a forest for me. Remember that time he did that in A Apartments on Inferno?
Yeah.
Or he threw down the molly and then walks into it, shoots the guy in the face, and walks back out again? Like, okay.
Oh, wait a minute. Look at who's sneaking in here. Emilio, and that's a free kill on Scream, and they take out Foxio. So this is looking really good here. Property coming back into it with some sneaky play over by the B bomb side, and that's actually because Epsilon wasn't holding middle correctly. GMX here was smoked off. So, yeah, the smoke towards CT spawn, and then the sneak up into the B bomb side. That worked.
That worked very well, Anders. They listened to you.
I'm glad. Someone is.
That's one of those textbook plays, right? You need to be able to use it every now and again and actually make it work, because you know a lot of teams actually base a lot of their strategy on Dust 2 around the B split push, and then they kind of spice things up with an A split or something like that. But it's kind of a go-to play. I'm surprised that it's only now that we see Property go for it. But again, Property, they're committing to long. They're really putting a lot of firepower out here. They've got the bomb out here as well.
Yeah. Where's Delpan? He's all the way in T-spawn still. I'd wish that they would leave him down in the pit and then sort of just go somewhere else. Fox shows up on short, and are they going to be aware of it? He spots one guy, tries for the peek, but Emilio will straight take him down, and that was actually from lower dark. That was where that shot came from.
Yeah.
So nicely done.
Foxio getting a bit too greedy. And that's one of the things as well. It's like you missed the first shot, okay, maybe back off, right? Stay alive. You get the info. And that at that time, that's what's important. But now it's going to come down to his teammates to get the job done, and Uzi gets overwhelmed. GMX has picked up that AWP and managed to pick off Delpan, so that's a great kill there. But it's going to be the B split, and PM is already in position here, sneaking his way closer. This could be a great opportunity for him. Doesn't manage to get a kill, though.
No, GMX looking for the shot, can't find it. Scream is coming in also from upper dark, but I'm not sure he's going to be able to make a big difference. Actually, oh, Dalito almost did a Delpan and just run in with his knife out. But, yeah, 2-on-3. This should be another Property round. And it comes as another B-split push.
Now I expect them to do it for the remainder of this half. Just B-split push, B-split push, B-split push.
Why not?
Yeah, why not? Because if it's working, just go for it. Keep using it. Abuse that fact. You found a weakness. You found a weakness in the defense. Hit it. Don't hesitate. So GMX now, I mean, they're just going to try to get in position to hold onto their guns. GMX missing a crucial shot, and he's going to get punished for it.
The temptation right now for Property, I mean, we're in the 14th rounds. They didn't really have that many rounds left to try and B-split push, but the temptation for Property is to try and guess when it's going to be the round where Epsilon have a setup that's directly meant to counter the B-split.
Sure.
And then we'll do something else that works in our favor. It's kind of like when you're playing rock, paper, scissors. That's essentially what it is, right? You know, one guy keeps going rock and you're guessing this time he won't be bold enough. He's going to go for scissors and I'll destroy him, right?
Of course not. And then GMX just happens to say gun. And wrecks your entire team.
Yeah, hand grenade just blows everything up. Said with a good headshot on Foxio, and actually there's only really pistols on Epsilon's fight, except for that one rifle there on Scream, but they're all going to be going down. Delito's the only one dead so far through the hands of PM, and looks like Property might be able to pick up a 5th round here.
Property waking up a little bit, and this is looking real good. Set in particular, quad kill for him. Anti-eco round, sure, but PM has managed to find an AK somewhere, so he could potentially go for a flank up long. It doesn't really seem like he has the info right now, though. I mean, he probably knows that they're on A, but now he's just going to float around and see if he can't pick somebody up.
Yeah.
I mean, let's bring up the scoreboard real quick, just take a look at the money. Yeah, Epsilon.
They won't have that much Epsilon, but
yeah.
I think they're not going to be completely ruined either.
It's actually crucial that he holds on to this AK, because he has one mate who's only at 1750. So that's going to be... It's not going to mean a whole lot of money for him. So if Zet does manage to hunt down PM here, this is going to be a very sad time. PM needs to land this kill very fast. Nicely done. Gets the headshot, but that gives away his position. Now it gets just that much more difficult to stay alive, and it's not going to happen. Spitfire was there, and then Emilio from on high was going to just close in.
It's a real shame that Zed's ace got ruined, because he's actually playing really well. He's at 12 kills. He's top fragging for his team and almost on the server. I mean, PM and Scream are at 16, but everyone else in Epsilon is lower than 12. So that's still pretty nice job here for the returning legend, as it were. Yeah. This guy played in NIP all the way back in the day.
That's true. That's true. And he's focusing, but he's playing part-time. PM has found the opening frag, however, so Zet is gone. You cursed the man who's giving him your attention.
Yeah, I know. Apologies, Zed.
No, you're not sorry.
No, I'm not sorry. 15th round is coming up here, and Emilia will get a return frag on PM, so that's really important. Yeah, and it's the B-split push again, guys. They can feel it coming. And maybe they're going to be right as well. Scream tries to get an opening here. Actually got a couple of people to shoot at. He's also alone on the bomb site, which means if they go for it right now, there's absolutely no way he can hold all the angles. And they do not... They actually do have a smoke on Spitfire, so they might be able to make it work. But it feels like they've changed their minds now.
Well, this is tricky play. GMX up on short is going to be a crucial player here. Delito coming around the corner. There you go. Gets spotted out. GMX gets that shot. He needs to make it out of here intact, and he does, just barely. Hot on his heels, though. Delpan not wanting to let up. He knows that GMX is low, but GMX is going to get jumped on, and that's a freebie. Delpan, what are you doing? 2 members remain alive here for Property, and it's a 2-on-3 situation.
Yeah, I think Property just mind-gamed themselves. They thought, all right, we've made some noise like it's a B-split push. We're going to go back to A, and that's exactly where Epsilon were holding. That's a great headshot, though, from Spitfire. And that'll allow them to at least get the bomb down with 20 seconds left. And Emilio, well, he could be having a good time here. If they come for him, he's definitely in a strong position.
Flash in there. Emilio holding the cat. Gets insta-gibbed. Scream walks around that corner, gets the headshot. Now, all of a sudden, it's Spitfire. In danger of getting closed in on here. Scream is going to be taking point on Cat. Both members here pushing up from Cat for Epsilon. They're really looking to close him out, but Scream gets another headshot. Walks in and makes it look easy, and he's got enough time for the defuse to boot. Epsilon will finish this out 10-5 at the end. Fantastic CT scoreline for them.
Yeah, definitely impressive. A little bit of a slip up towards the end of the half where Property got some rounds in and they played pretty well. They got some good opening kills and they found out that that B-split push is pretty effective. But if they had done it this last round, they probably would have won it. Scream would have been alone in a 1-on-4. So, I mean, they would have come in from 2 from middle, 2 from upper, and that would have been almost impossible.
It's like, it's clever, but then Epsilon never really rotated off that A site. GMX pushed out on short. If they kill GMX instantly, if Delito gets that kill on GMX, it's a totally different situation. Then it's just, they close in and get whichever site they want. But GMX had to just go and ruin their day and get 2 kills.
Well, Glocks versus P250s and also P2Ks, and also a bit of a USPS there on Delito. Landing a lot of damage, in fact, on Epsilon, and obviously Property gotta win this round. Trading early on, and PM wants to keep pushing. Spots out one guy, and actually, that's a lot of information here. They could rotate already.
spots one on site and he spots one on element. He has to know that they can, I mean, that the defense should be weakened here, but quick rotation coming out here from property as well. They're already going to have 2 guys here across into B site. So the read is good here, very good for property. They're going to be back here in time.
Yeah, but I think this is still better than if they'd pushed A right now for Epsilon. Their odds are still looking a little bit better, but Spitfire's going to try and see if he can actually win this for his team. Picks up the first kill here on Uzi, looking up towards the window as well. It's going to catch one guy running in through the doors, the second one coming in here, and it's going to work out just fine. Delpan picking up that, or actually Emilio picking up the last kill, coming in from middle. So pretty nicely handled. I think the choice for Epsilon to rotate back middle still wasn't too bad, because if they'd been pushing up towards A, they would have been 4 people waiting for them instead of just 2, so...
Everybody would have been there from property. That's the big thing. But I do like how quickly property rotated back and just committed to 2 guys straight to B. And that's all you need for the B side as well. They can leave the other 2 guys on A site. That's not a problem. They don't have to rotate them off because with 2 guys, they should be able to lock down that B site. So just really nicely done there by the Swedes. That's going to start them off strong here in this second half. And now they've got the guns. Delpan even going for he's even got an ump. He's willing to spend the money on the SMG.
Yeah.
And that could pay off well here. I mean, this is an armor helmet buy, and that ump does a lot of damage now versus armor thanks to the recent buff.
Definitely does, but it's only got 25 bullets, and they've got to be a little bit careful in case they all rush him down. Smoke's going to go off, so now Delito's job's a little bit harder. Set going to come in as well, but Fox has already picked up 1 kill here with the scout, and yeah, Delpan has to run away for a bit.
I like this, though. It's a cat plant coming in here. Another trade into a 3-on-3. It's just trades all over the place. Two members left for each team. And there's the jumping shot from Delpan. He's just looking to get lucky. PM is low. He's only got 6 HP right now. And Foxio is the one who's sitting at half. But guess what? The bombardment rolls in. Spitfire, living up to the warplane name, drops the pain. And there we go. Property. They managed to bounce back.
Yeah, very nicely done indeed. That grenade was definitely beautifully timed. And Property will be winning the round. So 10-7. Still a pretty expensive round for them. I mean, they lost, what, 2 for Masters and a Scout in that round? So that's still fairly painful for them.
Yeah, that's an expensive round.
And look at Epsilon. I mean, they got the bomb plant, but normally you'd be saving around here, and they just want to end the game quick.
It's risky. It's risky play. If they lose this is going to be very painful for Epsilon. They're going to have to give up another round, basically, and Property are going to be very close to evening up the game. So this is a big risk by Epsilon, but if they can catch Property off guard right now, this could be huge. It's going to be a slope hold here coming out from not sure who that is. Set, and he does get the peekaboo kill.
He's almost burned alive. He was down to 30 just from the fire, so a hugely aggressive round coming out right here. And already the bomb is being planted, and this time they're planting it for long because they're holding long as well. This is a very smart play from Epsilon. As long as they can keep control of long, it doesn't matter what Property do. They're going to have to fight them at long before they can really defuse that bomb. And Delpan, oh, that's the wrong time to have a grenade out. But perfect timing for Uzi. And I think Delito and Spitfire are in a lot of trouble. They try and go for the boost, they get the kill, but again, this is all about the long position. Delito coming in with some huge kills. That's now a triple, and Uzi, he goes down to Spitfire. So, wow, they made that look a lot easier than it is.
Delito in particular, those 3 kills, and those weren't walk of the, easy frags to get. Run-of-the-mill frags. I mean, this one in particular right here, just assassinates Scream point blank, but the long pick was crucial. Him getting that kill so quickly just opened it all up, put Uzi in a very difficult position, because as soon as Uzi peeks, he's peeking versus 2 guys, versus having support from Pit and putting pressure on the team. So it's really nicely done there by Property, and this is where it starts to get really hairy. Epsilon, though, having lost several rounds in a row now, thanks to that plant, they're going to be able to force up with some rifles. Doesn't stop the fact that Property are willing to push up the top mid, however, and play very aggressively. Delpan has to be careful, doesn't want to overextend, but then again, he's leaving Emilio now to his fate. Emilio hiding behind that smoke, and he still gets the run and gun shot on GMX and nearly takes out a third. Foxio down to 9 HP.
Yeah, Emilio with that kill, and the grenade follow-up on Uzi will do just a little bit of damage, actually, not as much as I thought. 2 on 3. And Property, I mean, they're starting a comeback here, and actually Foxio is just going to walk right into Delpan, who was ready for it. Which leaves Uzi in a pretty bad position, but not unwinnable.
Oh, the smoke going down, though. That's going to ruin Uzi's day.
He's got so much time.
I mean, he's got time, but they know now that he's rotated off. Delito's looking to close in on him from Cat. Look at this. They're just going to wrap right around on him.
Yeah.
I mean, he can run all he wants. Check CT, sure, but bomb is dropped, and Delpan's already, he's already aiming the angle. He knows.
And Uzi's thinking, I'm super clever. They will never see this coming. I'm just sneaking up from behind. What a clever man I am. And then Delpan's like, nope. Oh, that's kind of funny. Because, yeah, you're right. They
It's
had
eye in the sky moment, right? That's the thing for us. You know, we're able to see it. Uzi, it's kind of luck in the draw, really, as to whether he gets hurt or not there. But Delpan being in that forward position like that, Uzi stomping around on mid-cat, you can hear that from Longhouse. So it's just free information for Delpan.
Oh, grenade timing? Not as good as it could have been. But either way, Epsilon are back to ecoing, and Property are at 10-9. So the fact is, the Swedish team could actually end up winning this map. They're playing pretty well here on the CT side, and Epsilon have made a couple of quite risky buys that now are backfiring a little bit on them.
Coming back to bite them. And now we're going to be into a 10-10 situation here unless Property managed to bungle this. But we have Epsilon picking up a couple nades. They've invested in some pistols as well, so they do have the firepower. If they can just get onto this site and go for the short plant, and I think that's what they're trying to do here, because they've got the smoke selected, they've got a flash on Foxio. Smoke can just go in to land in front of that site, and they can just run up and plant that bomb. And there isn't a whole lot the Property can do without fully committing, unless the Delpanator doesn't get flashed.
Oh, a lot of smokes again, and yeah, the bomb is just making its way in here, so they just want the touchdown, and they are going to be able to do it. So you're right, that's all that round was about. Easy peasy, right? I mean, doesn't really require much explanations. The few smokes to make sure they can easily get in, and then as if someone's running up, they just keep throwing in flashbangs on top of everything else. It's really simple.
Well spaced out flashes.
Yeah, that's it.
But now let's see here.
Makes you wonder if people are going to start trying to prevent that. I mean, the easiest way to stop that from happening would be to just put down a Molotov on that other side of the boxes when you're on the CT side. Yep. Just do like a Grand Molotov of the Molotov, just like put it out so that when they try and put it down, there's fire.
Whoa.
Okay.
I love it. Fox. Now, if we start to see the explosive AWP from Fox, like the one who just kind of dominates the game, things can go south for Property really quickly here. But Epsilon have an entry frag to work with. Delito's looking to change that. He's going to just flash his way into Longhouse, but GMX is ready and waiting. A second frag goes Epsilon's way. And this is a 10-10 situation. Now, Epsilon, they have all of the control.
And they will certainly do. Zed walking up. Could find a kill on Scream if he's got the right timing, but he's going to pull out a grenade, and that seems to have happened a couple of times to Property in this game here. Emilio has picked up Delpan's AWP and no-scopes DMX. That's nicely handled. There's even a gap in the smoke, and he's not going to be quick enough to pick up that kill, so still there, a man down, and the bomb is going to be planted here, and Foxio going for the kills, and he's just going to pick up every single kill down in that CT spawn. So triple for him, and that is the kind of position where... Well, let's just put it like this. If I was the leader, that's really great. The flash, and then he still gets the kill. Mm-hmm. If I was the leader of Epsilon and I had seen Fox, going for those kills in that 2-on-3, I would have been shouting at him. I would have been furious, saying, why the hell are you doing this? Just put down the bomb and wait for them to come, but...
Yeah, that's not Foxio's style.
It isn't.
Foxio is all about being aggressive. Foxio, he forces situations, basically. He believes in creating his opportunities. And he's like, okay, I'm going to go ahead and just like walk in here and kill everybody. Oh, if he messes it up, oh, well, then I just messed it up, right? It's really one of those situations, like a lot of his plays come down to, if they work, they're brilliant. If they don't,
yeah,
what are you doing?
Then you're really putting your team in a bad situation. Exactly. That's what it's down to. But I mean, yeah, if it works, definitely is a big resource. Nicely handled by Property, holding over at the B-bomb site.
Yeah, managed to pick up those two. Uzi and Scream are out of the picture now. And Scream, that's not a kill that Epsilon can give up very easily. He's been doing a lot of work for the French team right now, so Delpan is going to be the one floating around mid. He should be able to pick this up, and he will, in fact. A near double spray for him. GMX dropped down to 12 HP and forced back out the doors. Property in full control of this round. And you're thinking about 2 rounds right now. Epsilon still managing to keep 3 guys alive, so they do have a little bit of money on their side, but it's more like Epsilon had a big opportunity to just shatter Property's money, because Property forced everything into this round. If they lost this, Epsilon could run away with the game. Yeah. Now it looks like Property are going to be the ones who have all of the momentum in the remainder of this half.
Oh, definitely. Property, they fought their way back to tied 10-10. Mm-hmm. Then they let a round go, and now they keep winning it, and they continue to win. So this is about as good as it gets if you're on the CT side. You're right, their economy isn't exactly great, but neither is Epsilon's. They have 3 people who could buy, and the last 2 are actually alarmingly low on money.
Yeah, they're going to go for Uzi really going into that, actually. Okay. They're just going to even the money out with some drops here. That's interesting. Are they going to go for a full force or not? No, they can't possibly. They go for it. What in... So who is making these calls right now?
I don't know. Maybe it's Angel from Hellraisers calling in,
Right?
saying just buy, guys. Trust me.
Like they have a little stuffed angel, you know, sits on their shoulder.
Grenade is going to be damn near perfect. That is a lot of damage for one grenade. Epsilon hurting already. It feels like they're going to try and go out the middle. They got one guy in upper dark as well, which is usually a big clue that something's happening. And Emilio's going to have a lot of angles to cover. They're leaving one guy on short as well to try and jump down, I assume, at some point. But they need the opening, and Emilio isn't giving it to them.
Now, this is what I worry. This is what you have to worry about basically if you're an Epsilon fan. When does Emilio wake up in this game? And so far, he's been doing a fantastic job, or at least he's starting to get those rounds. And Emilio with a double kill, just shutting down mid from the B doors, and the rest of his team stepping in to fill the gaps. But Epsilon now that buy is cost. I mean, they're going to lose the round. They should be able to buy up again in the next round. So I mean, it kind of balances out in the end, I suppose. It's just giving a lot of ground here to Property. Property are going to be on basically 3 rounds away from winning this map. That's a bit too close for comfort, especially when Epsilon are just struggling so mightily to get rounds on the T side. It's like watching them versus Hellraisers again on Cash. They seem to get some decent momentum going their way in the first half, and then going into the second, their T side is definitely struggling.
Yeah, there's no doubt about that. And that's good news, because the final map is Mirage. I mean, Epsilon have had some varied results on that map. They've had really, really big results, and they've also lost to a couple of teams that they definitely shouldn't have. So, I mean, maybe Property could show something cool. Fox is going to go down in the middle to Emilio, and of course, this is an eco round for them. They're going to get the bomb plant just like last time. In fact, maybe even easier than last time, because they still have a couple of members still alive. And actually, if they can hold short, which won't be easy, because there's a lot of grenades on Property that can zone them out of this part of the map. Most notably, that Molotov, which actually they've already just used.
They just used it on the site itself. That's actually going to delay their retake somewhat here. GMX manages to take out Set. They still have 2 guys alive. Uzi has got an M4.
Oh, if they could go for the jump kill here, that would be brilliant. But they're getting denied, and now it's too late. Still a nice idea, actually, because the smoke meant they weren't even going to be able to fight on short. So I still actually like that play. If you do that early enough, that might actually be interesting.
I mean, what, the smoke on short?
No, just running back from short and into CT spawn.
Into CT spawn, looking to get in there?
It's not something you can just do every time, but if you realize we're not going to win this anyway.
It's not so much, yeah, it's just if Uzi gets there a second earlier while Delpan is scoped up looking at Cat, he can probably either get the kill on Delpan or stop the defuse from happening. I mean, yeah, okay, points. It's still a successful round as far as Epsilon are concerned, because they still managed to get the bomb plant, and now we can see the effect that's had on their money. A full buy for them. But I do like the aggression coming out here from Property. Once again, just getting control of Upper Dark. Looks like they're trying to take advantage of this, however, Epsilon.
Yeah, they are. And they have Fox still covering T-spawn, so they know for a fact no one's moved up. And look at Fox, he's just going into Upper Dark alone, which is so crazy, because he could have met 2 people with rifles here. But now he's basically taken map control back that he just lost. So that's kind of great. Emilio peeking up right in front of Uzi here. He's going to get flashed in, and the timing is almost perfect, but he actually gets a little bit white himself, and is going to have to fall back, and Fox is still scoped up, and he's going to get the kill on Spitfire, and that is now a big problem for Emilio. He's in the back, and he's going to get surrounded by every which angle. He picks up the 1 kill, and it's not enough here. This could definitely be a round where Epsilon, they bring it right back, but Zed is going to take down and GMX, who's weirdly caught waiting outside the B-bomb site. Not exactly ideal.
Gets caught on that ledge, decides to turn and fight, and Set just annihilates him. This is looking really good here. Set in particular, that was a very clean play. Down to 22 HP, but this is still a 3-on-3 retake situation. It looks like Property. If they can find a frag quickly here, they're going to try and go for this. Foxio holding Upper Dark will just get rid of Delito, though, and now Foxio can even change up his angle, pick up Delpan, who's poking at the doors, Molly into the back, but that Molly is just a bit too late. Fox!
Oh, he
Fox.
takes down to 2.
Jesus,
It's
I know you want the
almost-
last frag, man, but come on.
Almost like he timed it perfectly, you know?
That is scary.
Either way.
It feels like the order should have been, as soon as they lose the first guy there, rather than face at B doors, it should be that Molotov that's going into the back to force Fox out.
Yeah, I agree. He actually had a Molotov himself, Fox, so if it had got really tricky, maybe he could have even bought more time with that. Emilio, really close to the doors, but actually this is a really unusual angle. I'm not surprised Doozy didn't see that coming. That's not common, because there's a lot of different ways you can counterpick like that, or even just grenade it down. So the most common thing in that position is to move all the way up, so you actually look directly into lower dark. But just waiting like that's definitely not the usual thing to do.
Not at all. because if you're moving up from mid, I mean, the smoke is clearing up now. There's going to be Delpan on Cat. Misses his shot, drops down into CT, and gets away pretty much down to half HP. But GMX, in the meantime, has picked up his mate. Set is gone. We're into a 4-on-4, and it looks like Epsilon are interested in this A site. They're after the pointy letter, and they want it bad. Extra marks if they can get it, and there you go. It's the trades again.
Yeah, and the good headshot comes in from Scream. So 2-on-2, yeah. The bomb is though is dropped down on the ramp, actually. They're going to have to go and pick it up here. And if Property knew that, which it doesn't seem like they quite do because they're not covering it, if they had realized, that would have given them a lot more options. Now, question is if Emilio can come up big here, and he's going to go down. And obviously now Spitfire is in a pretty... has a bad position here. And, and tradition, true, Fox is not going to be waiting for anyone. There's no playing it safely, no trying to, you know, set up some sort of teamwork with his teammate. Just, you know, go for the kill.
That's...
I mean,
only Fox.
Yeah.
So like Fox is not interested in teamwork or any of that. He's interested in getting frags.
The thing is, that kind of play, I think it can carry you some distance, but I don't ever see you winning a tournament with it.
No, that's...
I think that's almost impossible.
At the same time, you know, if you go for that kind of play in that kind of situation, Emilio is probably never going to expect that.
No,
never going to expect that. So if he hits that shot, it's just Emilio's gone. And when you're talking about, you know, establishing momentum, really, you know... Like,
let's say you're playing Fnatic, and it's like 14-14, and you're in a 1-on-2, and you go for that play, and it just so happens that Olofmeister headshots you instead.
Yeah.
That's when you lose the tournament. And... oh, well.
That's the thing. Gimmicky play can come back to bite you. There's no doubt about that. But let's see. They do manage to once again push into Upper Dark. Emilio's got that AWP this time. Property on a... well, they're on an eco round right now, so... looks like it's just, you know, the Emilio show, try and get him out of harm's way, but PM is already looking to cut him off. If PM realizes this fast enough, there you go, shot from Emilio. Gets rid of PM, and that's going to be now a 2-on-3 situation with Emilio still holding that AWP.
Oh, they so desperately want to hold on to this orb, and you can't really blame them. Epsilon's about to take the round lead back at 14. And Spitfire's here to guard him. Actually steal an AK as well. I mean, everything works right now for Property. They need as much as they can get. And GMX goes down, so they're doing a nice job of holding it onto it. And I think they can actually hold on to all the rifles. So pretty well done from Property, actually.
This is fantastic for Property. They're going to get out of here like bandits. AWP and an AK, that's about as good as it gets right there. That's fantastic. Now they're going to be able to save a little bit of money going into this. So they can drop that AWP. They could have... they could have potentially gone for a glass cannon AWP and tried to change it up with a double op play, but it seems like Property, they just want to get the nades to work with.
I'm a little bit disappointed.
What's up?
Uzi just had the perfect long spawn. They could have shot the AWP down to him, but I guess they didn't feel like it.
They want to let Fox take that fight mid. Unfortunately, the flash means nobody gets the kill. Nobody gets the kill.
Team Property going for the NOA tower. And Scream isn't really suspecting it. He's going to go down to Emilio, so no chance there.
Nice timing there by Property to bust out that play as well. When you're in this kind of situation, that's when you want to be using those clever strats. So now...
PM's AK is called La Jojo 47. What does that mean? I have absolutely no idea. Oh, Molotov's going to be in the site. If it had been up by up by Goose there, that would have been pretty cool. Either way, Zed is shooting up with the FAMAS and actually landing some really good damage on Uzi, so there's a good chance Property could take this round. They're already a man up, and they've almost got the second kill. And also, Epsilon are weirdly hesitating over by the box there. That's definitely not working out in their favor. Emilio just hiding here is going to pick up another kill, tries with the pistol, and that's a great triple. Nicely handled. Actually, a quad kill from Emilio. He just needs one more here to complete the ace. Is he going to be able to get it? He really wants it.
Zed, don't be greedy.
Yeah, they should give it to him.
Oh, and Delpan, the Delpinator, he knows he has no feelings. He cares not for his mates. He cares only for the frags.
Emilio, he's joined the game and got 29 kills. He's 1 kill away. That would have been the ace. Would have been the 30 bomb in this round.
Emilio's making the difference right now. This is the thing. Dust 2 is his map. Dust 2 is when he shines.
He's really good. I've got to remember, I mean, when this team was on SK, or under the SK umbrella, Emilio definitely wasn't the guy we were looking for with this kind of performance. Definitely not.
He certainly has improved over the past months, that's for sure.
Yeah.
Changed up the lineup somewhat as well. Set seems to be fitting right in, and Delpan, well, there you go. Picks off Fox Yo. This is not looking good here for Epsilon. definitely not going their way. They're starting to lose it. This is the issue, is that Epsilon, their T side, it really does seem like they're struggling right now to get anything going.
Yeah, it definitely does.
Does it work again? Scream.
Oh, Delpan just takes him down through the smoke. No luck at all. And I think Epsilon are actually going to be playing out of money. If there was a really good chance, Property could jump all the way to 16 rounds just by winning this one. PM trying to prevent it, will get the one kill, but again, the tower is still standing strong down here, and they're going to flash their way out to see if they can get away. But PM is actually pretty quick with that ult, so pretty nicely done. It is still not over yet. 2 on 3.
I'm really liking PM's aggressive play here. Good pace from him. Doesn't put the bomb at risk either. Drops that off to GMX. We could have Spitfire try and move in here into a bit more of an aggressive position. It's going to be Smoke to block off Plateau, however. GMX is going to have to look hard, right? Spitfire is already waiting around this corner. Does he actually check, though, GMX? How thorough are you?
Trying to hide in the smoke with 15 seconds left. He's going to have to get this kill really quick and then put that bomb down immediately. Does check, and the spray is going to connect, and he doesn't take that much damage. So 1 on 3 turned into a 1 on 2 with the bomb plant. Let's see if GMX can hero this round. That'd certainly be very impressive. And he's been playing well today, so wasn't even that surprised. They're trying to push through the door both at the same time. He's going to pick up the 1 kill. Looking for 1 more here on Zed, who's just scoped up. He wants him to peek, but GMX is just playing it so patiently behind this box. Zed's going to be walking in, and he misses the shot, and GMX takes him down. Oh, no. What a great 1 on 3 from GMX, but you got to think Zed, he's going to be remembering that moment for a little while.
We need the replay on that right now, please. Thank you, the Estrella replay. Let's take a look. Where exactly does Set put this shot?
Right.
It's got to be right where he just shoots
He's walking just a little bit as he's doing it as well.
He times it just a hair off on the timing for the shot. Oh, that's good. That's a round actually that will eat at you.
They can lose this best of 3 because of that 1 missed shot. Epsilon would have been ecoing. You can see even winning it, they have Galils. So a big indication that they would have been plain broke if it had been 15-14 in favor of Property, which it probably should have been. Still got to give some credit to GMX for playing that 1 on 3. And on the other hand, Property don't have a lot of money here either. A lot of grenades. Dalito being shot down a little bit, and Delpan also down to 18.
A good wallbang coming in here. Spitfire getting caught out in the open, however, but he still makes it out alive. 11 HP. Oh, sick 1-2 combo.
Yeah. Scream, too caught up worrying about the guy over there, and now they're still in a 5 on 3, so we could be looking at overtime. Flashbang here. GMX should be able to pick up the kill on Spitfire. It was very low, but actually Spitfire makes it back in time, and GMX is going to run into CT spawn instead. This is turning into a very strange and curious round for Epsilon. I think they're going to get caught here. Up on short, they lose the bomb, which means it doesn't really matter where GMX is anymore.
Yeah, 1v5. 1v5. Let me do you 2 better. GMX gets the first. No, he does not. This is incredible. Everybody from Property, they refuse to die.
They really do. But there it is, 15-15, and we're going to overtime. So, in spite of that misstep by Zed, they still make it out. 32 kills on Emilio, yeah.
In regular time, 32 kills, 6 assists. That's impressive. That is just very impressive.
It's pretty good. I approve.
You approve? Yeah, so that's your stamp?
Yeah, definitely. Oh, I mean, Emilio has been just a real delight to watch. He's making smart decisions, and his kills don't come as like, you know, like a bunch of quad kills or anything. He just picks up a few kills every round, and he keeps doing that for the whole game. And that is really valuable. It's not as flashy, it's not as impressive maybe, but it's really, really valuable.
It makes a difference in the long term. That's the thing. Long run, his team is still in this. In large part due to him, I think, although they are working well together right now, Property. Dalito seems to have found his stride as well. But it's going to be PM taking a 1 to the face already, down to 10 HP, versus 3 guys at mid. And we need to see some nades. There we go. Nades going sailing in, but they don't really do anything.
And Emilio will trade on GMX. PM also very nearly dead. Yeah, that was a bit of a firing squad almost, just waiting for PM to peek up again.
And I have no way of knowing that Emilio is on this site alone right now. That's the sad thing here for Epsilon. They have no way of knowing. I mean, they could know there was quite a few, but they could probably think, okay, 2 and 2, basically. There's going to be a guy in CT, which is pretty much Dalito here.
And he steals the AWP. That's all he wanted. So double AWP is back in action. Emilio pushing up quite aggressively, and look at this again. Smart decision making. This is going to net him a free kill and basically give away the game entirely. I'm pretty sure Property know just what's coming. And while Epsilon are going to be able to get the bomb down, they can't really go anywhere and control long, can they? If they get long control on the long plant, it could work out, especially with Foxio on the bomb here. But down on long, Emilio still covering. That's now a triple, and he will get taken down. But it might have been too late, because Fox is caught here, and he should have been down in pit by now.
Needed to land that flick, and he's not going to get it. And Spitfire with the double frag just cleans up the remaining Epsilon members. There it is. Property picking up that crucial first round in this first half of overtime. For the CT side, it is imperative that they pick this up just to stabilize their money going into the remaining 2 rounds of this half. And as we can see, what? 3 ops on Property. 3 AWPs. That is not what I was expecting to see bot here. That is a very interesting play. Does it actually work though?
Definitely not what I was expecting either, and I mean, it could definitely work. Sets picked up the first kill on stream, so I mean, all signs point towards it being a pretty good idea. But they definitely need to make sure they don't throw anything away here. It's only MR3 for the overtime, so...
Oh man, they're about to run into the other AWP on long as well. Set, this could be big. Smokes go down. Epsilon could be supremely frustrated here. Imagine you're just running all over the place. There's ops everywhere on the map, and Set gets blind as they run past. But he's still in position to cut them off here as they cross through the smoke. There you go. Set another headshot, picks it up, and he's going to go for the final one here as well. Stands his ground, but Foxio strikes first. It's a 1v4 situation, but Fox is not going to live through Delpan. 3 kills for Delpan, 2 for Set, both of them rocking AWPs, and that is heartbreaking for Epsilon.
Without a doubt. So first 2 rounds of the overtime not going their way. The third one coming in, and I don't know. It's going to be a C set on Fox, a couple of AKs and a Galil. It looks like Property are quite determined to push us onto Mirage.
Yeah, they've got their hearts set on it. After Cash, they're definitely showing that on Dust 2 they are a force, and Emilio just hunts PM down with DHE. Bombardment is in progress.
That was beautiful. They already tagged him really, really low, and then the follow-up grenade.
But they stick to the triple op. They have no shame. I mean, Property, this is a brutal play.
If it works, right? Might as well keep doing it.
They've got 2 ops on long. They've got 2 ops just holding solid on the A side. Set and Delita are holding the AWPs there. 1 on cat, 1 at long. They've got both rifles and an op over at B right now for Property.
Yeah, Delpan's whole position, though, is really strange.
Delpan... Yeah, that's not often that you see this aggressive position, actually, with an AWP. But now do we see them actually pick up the frags here at long. Oh, the flash, the turn away Set. Oh, horrendous timing for him.
Oh, and they make an opening. GMX and Scream. This could be really big for them, but they're only in a 3-on-3, and they've got 30 seconds. They got to get up here and get the bomb, though. And Emilio is there with a double, looking for more, shooting through the smoke and doing good damage to GMX. And he's ready for them to jump up here. This is actually a really cool position. 20 seconds left. Flashes go in. Where is that bomb plant?
No, it's about to go in here, but I don't think they're going to let it happen. I think Property are just going to keep pushing up. They're going to get... I mean, they get up on CT slope. It's now down to Scream, playing peekaboo. It's just Whack-a-Mole, and he's not hitting anything. It's the moles.
Was he being attacked by then?
Look at that. It's just jumping all over the place, man. He needed a mallet. He didn't need a rifle there. He needed a mallet.
Yeah, pretty much. So the first 3 rounds of the overtime, they go to Epsilon. 18-15. Emilio dropping... How many? 37 kills is what he's at. He's looking for that 40 bomb.
Well, Property 3 rounds. Yeah, exactly. They need the 1 round here on their T side. They could go with some fast play as well. Looks like it's going to be a bit of a long pressure. Pressure all over the place, in fact. They have a bit of aggression coming out here. Delito taking point towards B, and he's going to manage to pick up the entry frag. This is going to... I mean, this could throw Epsilon for a complete loop. Exactly.
This is such a sick fake. I mean, they haven't spotted the bomb yet, but the smokes are going up and the rotation is in full effect. Unfortunately, so is it for Property. They're moving down the middle and they should have been moving up long by now, so this is really confusing. Delito's still going to pick up GMX. I mean, it's working because they're getting the kills, but it would have been working even better if they had kept going. So actually, they decide to rotate all the way back to the B bomb site, where Epsilon have also rotated into. But Delpan's going to pick up that kill on PM. And this is the going work just great. Foxio picks off a 1 kill, but they are going to lose Dust 2 here. It looks like we're going to Mirage.
No, this is it. It's going to take it to map 3. What a fight. There's no saving here, Foxio. You have to go for it.
What is he doing? That's it. So a bit of a weird play. I mean, it would have been a little bit more graceful if they had gone into the A bomb site, put the bomb down and made that work, but you know, getting all the kills also works just as well, I guess.
Fine, just
like
fine.
that.
Emilio drops. I mean, Emilio again.
Yeah.
The individual performance from him. I don't think they can pull it off if Emilio doesn't come back into this. We're not looking at map 3. We're looking at just a 2-0 win for Epsilon if Emilio isn't here.
Yeah, pretty much. I'm sure that's true. So let's take a look at the recap, guys. Bit of a different team, this property lineup, with Emilio playing and going nuts. I mean, we've been saying Emilio a lot of times already. See if he's going to be just as good on Mirage.
Yeah, that's the big question, right? Is he going to be able to land the shots like that on Mirage, or is
I mean, look at Epsilon. They're 9-2 in the beginning.
It's just Epsilon. It's a CT team. It's like a Danish team, except that they're French-Belgian. It's a CT-sided team. Whenever they get onto T side, if they start encountering resistance, they struggle. They really struggle. So I'm curious to see how Mirage. Mirage is also a bit of a technical map. On your T side, you need to be crisp. You need to be clean, and you need to have a vision of what you want to do in a round. And I'm not sure if we're going to see that from Epsilon. But then again, their CT side, if they land the shots with GMX and Scream, then they look indomitable. It's a very tricky team.
True enough. And this is
that round right there is going to haunt Zed, though.
Yeah, and the crazy thing is, I mean, they could have won it without overtime right there if you just landed that shot. So actually, Property they're in a good position for a while to win this game.
Individual performance, that's going to be an individual thing that Zed is just going to look at that and be like, I could have won that for my team right there. I mean, we won it, kind of saved the day, but
could have been even more impressive.
Yeah.
Well, that means we're going to go on to Mirage as the final and deciding map. Remember, winners, they go on to play against, either Fnatic or Hellraisers.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Fnatic and Hellraisers are in the winner match. That's going to be tomorrow night. And then the consolidation match. This is what these teams are fighting for right now. First team into the lower bracket and a chance at second seed.
Yeah.
So
that's exactly where we're at, guys. So we'll be right back after a quick break. Stay with us.
Nu är nya Casumo.com här. Just nu får du dubbelt på kontot och 110 gratis chanser att vinna storkovan. Casumo, ett kasino. Casumo.com.
Tja och välkomna till Estrella Lifehacks. Idag tänkte jag gå igenom Estrella-rycket. Och det går till så här att du tar ett fast grepp om varsin sida av påsen och så rycker du. Så, en nyöppnad påse sour cream and onion. Finns det något godare?
Other day. other day.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the Fragbite Masters Season 3. And it did it again, Samla.
I didn't think he would actually do it. I thought he was bluffing.
You thought he was bluffing? The sponsors, they send us stuff, but I think it's more like a courtesy. I don't think, you don't have to eat it on stream.
But it's so tasty. It's
God
so
damn.
good.
It is good.
The best. These are actually legitimately good. So.
Well, did you remember to open in the correct way? You know what else was kind of good?
Life hacks.
Earlier today, when we had the Mac Frag Bite, because that's been launched as well. As you guys could see the commercials earlier.
Yeah.
We had McDonald's and an actual menu named after Frag Bite. That's pretty cool.
Really tasty too, actually. It wasn't a disappointment like the nipple.
It's really cool how much. It's really cool how much McDonald's in Sweden have actually got into esports. Yeah. That's
Definitely.
It's very cool. I'm enjoying it.
Oh, yeah, the McKeaton as well
Yeah.
that came out.
McKeaton, yeah. But
I'm curious how much Nip are paying to get their burgers put in.
I don't think they're paying anything. I think they just get voted in like everything else.
No, Anders, come on, this is
Just
not
a democracy.
This is a rigged system.
A real democracy, Semler, unlike the one from which you're from. All right, it's Property versus Epsilon. We're at the third map, and actually Property did manage to bring a really sick comeback onto Dust 2, thanks to Emilio dropping nearly 40 kills with overtime included. But it was 32 kills in normal time, so that's pretty damn sick. Now they're going to have to fight against Epsilon on Mirage. And Epsilon actually, I feel like they're a little bit touch and go on Mirage, but generally I would still favor them to win it.
Certainly. And it looks like this could be very interesting here. Look at this, the push-up from Emilio. He's going to run into PM, who's very low on HP, but then Emilio getting tagged down fairly low as well. It's going to be the underpass wrap around here. Emilio, are you ready? And he is. He's landing shots, and he finally gets a headshot. But I thought he was going to get two there.
He got some great backup from a teammate as well for in a flashbang and actually stopped Epsilon quite a bit. Now they're going to start smoke off Spitfire, but he's going to go straight into the ladder room, and then Zed will take down PM. So this is still looking all right for Property. They're a man up. No bomb plant happening yet for Epsilon. Spitfire taking a fight that he doesn't need to take. He's got backup in Delpan as well. Although GMX has taken down Zed. They got to be careful they don't lose more players. In the meantime, look at this. They snuck on through to the B bomb site. Foxio, how did he get here?
What is happening?
They're not. I don't think they're going to realize now. Only now do they realize. Wait a minute. This is the wrong bomb site.
Oh, and look at
Scream.
position. Scream, don't you dare.
Oh, it takes down one, and then the return kill from Foxio. What a chaotic round. I wish we could, like, draw all the paths that everyone ran on that round, because that would have been just so much crossing over that it's insane. And the fact is, Emilio could have died instantly in the middle without taking anyone with him when they came up from underpass, but he got a kill, and then it was just back and forth all around. That's just a very chaotic pistol round from both sides.
Exactly, and that's the thing, coming out of it, Epsilon actually managed to get one step ahead of Property. And just that one position in the error there manages to open things up. Property, they started off very standard as well, Property, until they just started pushing around on the map, and Emilio getting information, but then from there, it just kind of devolves.
Oh, and now look at this. They were actually walking past Uzi, who made it up into the kitchen over by the B bomb site, and then now they're being backstabbed in return, though. GMX is down here waiting, and look at that panic mode from GMX. He's got to be on the phone right now to Uzi saying, what the hell? I was sure someone was covering me from that position, and actually they're going to steal that Galil and now run back to the B bomb site, which would be the perfect move.
I don't like the fact that that man stopped. Just move. Just keep moving. Delpan is going to spot out a man on short, but just get onto this bomb site, Epsilon. Get into positions where you can just defend from safely. PM just getting chased off a short, taking a lot of damage, dropping him down to 18, and PM, just keep running, man.
Yeah, I agree. I definitely agree. Running is the right choice here. Don't try and fight it.
Although, Zet manages to pick up that kill. Nicely done there by him. Emilio now putting that Galil to work. He finds a frag. This is starting to get very scary here. Uzi does manage to step back into it, and Scream is there as well, into a 2-on-2, but this is already far too expensive a round for Epsilon. It's down to the Delpinator. In the Delpinator, he's not messing around. He's got the P2K, but he's not going to get anything done with it. He gets overwhelmed, and Epsilon do pick up 2 frags. Or 2 rounds, rather, but still. Property.
Oh, man.
How? They're going to go for a force.
Yeah, they know how much damage they did in that last round. Way too much damage, in fact. Epsilon taking the fights much too early and exposing themselves to a lot of risk they didn't need to. But now Epsilon are going to go for an A push, and from the looks of it, it could be a pretty standard smoke play, which could actually hurt Property quite a bit here. The setup they have for it, Emilio's going to have to run through the smoke, so is Delpan. If they both go through the smoke wall, that's going to come down right where they're holding. I think they'll be in an alright position, but if they stay on the wrong side, that's not going to be cool. And in fact, they're going to go back Epsilon.
They decided to change up their play here. GMX is at top mid. He could get some information. Emilio poking. There's the flash out, and there's the free kill. Thank you very much, Emilio. And he's going to back off. So now, Property, they've let them know at least that, hey, we got rifles, and we're going to mess you up.
Look at Delito.
Yeah, Delito's in a fantastic position. He knows somebody's coming around here now as well, but PM comes out on top. Really nicely done.
Almost doesn't take that much damage under 20 health lost, so that's pretty unreal. In fact, that should have been the big opening where not only does he get the kill, but he lets Epsilon know, we know exactly where you are. Now they've kind of lost a bit of control again, and 40 seconds left here. Fact is, Property don't know right now if it's going to be an A or an B push, and as a result, they're rotating Spitfire amongst others closer to the B bomb site, which is a big mistake. And if PM, if he can get one kill or even just make some noise and stay alive here, he has a smoke, so that's going to sell part of it. I'm pretty sure he's putting down the smoke right now. So that's the first part. Now he's going to try and push in. He goes down, unfortunately, and that actually gives a lot of the game away. But they've still rotated out of this bomb site, and Zed was the only one there. He goes down, smoke goes up. Epsilon have still sold this fake well enough.
Yeah, oh, and the timing on that last smoke to go down on top of stairs, that was perfect. Now life gets kind of difficult here for Property. Smokes are going to clear here eventually, but they don't have a kit, so they have to act quick here, the Swedes. They have to close in on this site and find a frag fast, but Epsilon, they've got the nades. A great one there to slow things down, and Emilio has to check all of the spots.
They're fast running out of time. They don't have a kit picked up here on the CT side, so they're going to go for straight defuse here. Emilio will pick up a good kill. It's still a 1-on-2 for him. He fakes it once. He's got the triple. He's going to get the quad out with the pistol. He's looking for the ace. He goes for the shots here. He's going to pick up the ace, but he won't have the time to win the round. So a very tragic ace, in fact. Not the kind he was hoping for, and he doesn't get to save the rifle. That's such a painful round. You force early. You start off well. You have one of your guys pick up an ace, but you lose every single member and you don't win the round.
And that's not exactly what you want to be doing versus Epsilon, who have struggled so hard to get T-sided rounds.
Yeah, it's true.
Because now you've just given them 4 rounds, potentially 5 rounds. I mean, opportunity to pick up a 5th, 6th round in this half. So this is, I mean, the easy way, right? Because look, GMX is going to walk in, he picks off Spitfire. Delpan, however, does manage to pick up one more, and it is the aggressive double push up the top mid. Zed is there to support, but in the meantime, Epsilon just move out onto the A site and take control.
Yeah. Foxio taking some fights in the middle, and he's got to drop slightly low, but Uzi's there to help him out, so... And they gave up one AK in the middle, but they get the bomb down quick and clean up the rest of the map. And now Property will have rifles again. They could even... Yep, they will go for the AWP on Delpan. So not...
At what point do you start just playing the team, right? Instead of just playing your game, you start playing the team. That blend between the two, right? You want to make sure that you shut Epsilon down on their T side. I mean, that's always going to be the goal, right? But Epsilon, I mean, they've clearly struggled on picking up T rounds.
Yeah.
Whereas their CT side looks really solid. So if Epsilon pick up another 2 rounds in this half, it's going to get real hairy for Property.
Yeah, I agree. I think 6 is the target goal here for Epsilon. And already at 4-0, things are looking good. And actually, Team Property, they don't even just settle for getting the information and then, you know, sort of realizing nobody's at top or mid. They want to push up a little bit more, and that sort of pays off. They put Fox at 19 health.
Yeah, no AWP on Fox either, so he's not going to be too pleased about that. It's Delpan rocking the AWP right now, and he's on Team Property, so... Now we have to see exactly where he's going to be holding from. Looks like he's in connector looking towards A apartments, and I like this position a lot. They've left it unsmoked as well. If the peek comes through, he knows somebody's there, and he misses the shot and even takes a bit of damage too.
Gets maybe another chance here. They're still waiting for him, so he's going to make the jump back. 40 seconds left, and the bomb is in fact making its way down the middle, so it feels like this is going to be an eventual crunch, but a really unusual one where they actually maybe going to have 4 people in the middle. That doesn't happen too often. And, well, Delito's already taken the first kill. The guy in apartments here from A is going to have to come up really big. And that's Scream.
Scream has to find the shots, but he's been smoked out. Now he's just going to walk out. He's going to get picked up as well. Epsilon are just getting picked up left and right. It seems so disconnected from Epsilon. What were they trying to do? Because they had Scream drawing the attention. They had the rotation coming out solid. And I'm thinking when the bomb is right by the entrance to B apartments, I'm thinking, okay, they're going to throw these guys for a total loop and just run into B apartments and try and make a B play out of this. And instead, Epsilon decides to run in late into A through connector when everybody from Property is already rotated over there.
Yeah, I feel like 4 people coming up for the mid connector and 1 guy from apartments is not a recipe for success. Let's put it like that. Because...
It can work. It can work. You just have to be very quick about it, I think. You have to overwhelm the defense like that. You can't let them rotate in, and you can't take time with it, I don't think.
Yeah. And it's... I don't know. It puts a lot of pressure on the guy coming out of apartments. I would have rather have them have 2 people connector and 3 people coming from, you know, slope and apartments.
Yeah,
but
proper split.
ultimately, the bomb will go down in this round from Epsilon. It was just the Nico round for them, so mission accomplished. They don't get a single kill, but they get the bomb plant. That's really the only thing they were looking for. So nicely done from the terrorist side. Property picking up a couple of rounds here on the CT side. And things are starting to look a little bit better. Also, economically speaking, they didn't lose anyone that round. And Emilio, not surprising, top fragging at 9-1-3. Definitely been doing a good job.
Yeah, he just continues with the streak, and we were wondering about that on Mirage, you know, if he was going to be able to continue that performance and just keep top fragging for Property, and it seems like he's able to maintain the momentum, so this is looking like a solid situation here for Property. They're bouncing back, but now it's going to be the buy round here. Epsilon have that AWP this time, and they've alerted Spitfire to their presence. They shoot out the vase, the vase, the pot, and it's going to be a 1-for-1. Now Emilio steps in. Set is there as well, and they do manage to annihilate the tough push coming out from Epsilon. Mid gets cleared, and that's the bomb dropped out in the middle of nowhere as well.
It's interesting to see Property play this aggressive on the CT side when they were really reluctant to do it on Cash. They kind of did it on Dust too, but I mean, maybe it's the two standards that made that difference, whereas now they maybe have Emilio back in the saddle and
I'm
calling
pretty sure
some of the
Emilio's
shots.
calling the shots as well.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure he is. So I mean,
like
that could be the main difference here. It's kind of cool because obviously it works a lot better for Property than playing passively.
Which is just amazing, the fact that this guy walks around, gets drops 40 bombs, and he's still calling the shots for his team.
Yeah, that's rare. I mean, Uzi can't really do anything here. They've saved the AWP. He's got 10 health left and 30 seconds, and he doesn't control the bomb. It's like there is no best case scenario anymore. Yeah, maybe make a few. That's it. Make a little snack on that microwave.
Pop some popcorn.
Anything really.
Popcorn might give away your position, though. You need something like soup.
Might scare them away.
The popping? Oh, yeah, right.
Is that from Home Alone?
Yes.
Does popcorn scare them? I can't remember.
I think it is. I think that sounds right.
It's been too long.
It has been a while, man.
If only had some paint boxes, something you could swing from the ceiling. Could definitely help out.
Yeah, I dream of doing that to the production room daily. But one day I'll get around to it, man.
Well, I think in Home Alone, it's self-defense. I think if you just do it randomly, that's assault. So, gotta be careful about that. All right, the money is back in Property's favor. Epsilon, well, they have the one AK that they saved here on Uzi, but the problem is he doesn't get any win bonus, so they kind of have to come up big here, and he runs into Emilio, who is just set on dropping another 30 bomb. I mean, so far he's up at 10 kills or more in 8 rounds, so he's well en route for this.
Set is wired a little tight as well. Decides to do a little bit of damage there to his mate. And it's going to be GMX and PM. Last 2 guys alive here for Epsilon. The bomb, it looked like they were trying to throw a fast one on Property and get that bomb over to the B site. And it doesn't look like they've given up on that either. GMX is probably going to try and make as much noise as possible over here on the A site. Keep the defense solid here. And give his teammate an opportunity to get out onto that B site and get that plant. Get that bonus money for Epsilon.
But I mean, yeah, and that is actually going to be really critical. Let's bring up the scoreboard really quick here and see that Uzi has $800 because he didn't, die in the last round, but he's done nothing with the AK he saved. So it's actually kind of a terrible position for them to be in. And now PM didn't sneak into the B bomb site. Instead, he's kind of letting them know, I'm in the underpass, guys, and I've got 5 bullets left. 1 headshot for each.
No headshots for anyone.
It was a nice fantasy, though.
It was a nice attempt, but yeah, you can see the impact. Uzi still has 3,700 though, and that's the bare minimum right there. He gets that AK and armor. Epsilon, I mean, Foxio, he's got that AWP. He's not going to have a whole lot of money to go with it. Wait, what did he just spend $400 on?
I don't know.
He doesn't have flashes, so what did he spend the $400 on? What is going on?
Maybe just, I don't know.
Oh no, he upgraded to a PT-50. I'm sorry.
Yeah, but no armor. So, bit of a dangerous position, especially if he gets grenaded. Emilio nearly losing that fight, or nearly winning it too, actually. Screams down to 15. Could have gone either way. And Del Penator also dropping a little bit low. Fox still waiting for an opening. If that had been an HE grenade instead of a flashbang, would have done a lot of damage. He misses the shot by an inch, though, and gives up the fact that he has the AWP up there.
Now we need to see more. I mean, basically, we need to get the entry frags going for Epsilon right now, but Property seem to have the monopoly on those. Delpinator and Emilio getting dropped low, but still no frag for Epsilon for them to build momentum off of. And that's the scary bit here. They're gathering up at top mid, and this would have been a smart. I mean, this would have been solid if Property were going to go ahead for their patented mid push, but that's not going to happen. It seems like smoke down on window, and Foxyo, you're going to have to have the sickest flick here if you want to pick off Delpan.
Oh.
Or Delito, and Delito's going to get the shot first.
It looked like it was really close. He just didn't click quite fast enough. Now they're going to roll in through Catwalk in towards the B bomb site. Spitfire's there to take down GMX, and Scream is going to fall as well. This is looking like a really solid defense from Property, and we were talking about how critical it was because we were at 4-0 just a while ago, and Epsilon probably don't need more than 6 rounds on this first half. So the fact that they've managed to stop them in their tracks right now is obviously good news. Now PM is going to go for a save on the AK here, but he'll be in the same position as his teammate before, where no win bonus means, you know, I mean, at least they've lost so many rounds in a row now that he's still going to get a decent win bonus once they do lose, but they got to be careful.
No, they have to, yeah.
And they won't force, and I definitely agree with this. I definitely wouldn't force it up here.
They're going to force. Or are they?
Nah.
What is PM doing? Buying an AK in that case?
No, he saved it.
He saved that, okay. You're right, he did.
So I think this is the reasonable choice. Buying a few smokes, that's cool. No big issue. Oh. Yeah, Delpan almost deciding to jump down. That would have been funny, though, if he had.
Good spray control by Emilio there. Doing some good damage.
Molotov to keep Delpan in the corner. But he's shooting his way out. No problem there. And Delito's there to help out as well. The AK actually works out for PM. He gets a shot in on Delpan, so that's pretty cool. But Uzi's going to fall. Oh, he does pick up that kill. How? On 22 health against 100 health from Emilio. Still comes out on top. Grenade will finish him, but that's still a lot of damage done with an AK and just pistols. Pretty respectable from Epsilon. That's going to make some difference potentially, because even though there's an absurd amount of money on Property, I guess theoretically they could eco if they lose the next, you know, the rest of the rounds here. Still 5 rounds left. If they lose 4 in a row, yeah, that could happen.
That could happen. They could eco before the time is out. Maybe if they were to lose 3, they would be in an eco situation. But right now, it's all momentum their way. They still look just so good. They've woken up after the bumpy start that they had, that risky buy. And that's when you realize just how confident Property are once Emilio's on the map with them. They go for a risky play, it doesn't pan out, but they still manage to turn the situation around. And ever since they got control, or at least just even the small vestige of control, bam, they're in the driver's seat, and they haven't let up since. Epsilon definitely struggling with their T side here. And again, it does seem like Epsilon